Too much. Hello, people of the internet, and welcome to another video here on the X Pound. This is the X Pound Wrestling Awards for 2018. So, in this program, we're going to go through and give our annual awards to the goings-on of WWE. With me, as always, are Geoff and Tiff.
Yes, yes, yes.
That movement is dead.
Mhm.
What was that, Tiff?
No, just saying hello.
So as per the usual, we'll be going from bottom to top of our list, which means
Correct.
the best superstars and whatnot are going to be saved for last. And the order will be Tiff, me, and Jim. Tiff will not have some awards, in which case it'll just be me and Jim.
Yep, pretty much.
And we'll kick things off with Worst WWE Network Original Show. And Tiff, you don't have anything for the network stuff, right?
No,
All right. So
not for either of them, so you can skip me altogether.
Alrighty then.
So we'll go straight to me. And here's my pick. Something to Wrestle with Bruce Pritchard. Now, to be fair, I only saw one, and I watched it just to see if it was any good, because everything else I've watched last year was actually pretty good. So I was like, I wonder if this is any good. And in actuality, it's pretty damned good. The reason I have it as my worst is because I can't fucking stand Comrade Thompson.
No
He's,
clue who that is.
he's the co-host of the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know if it was, like I said, I've only seen one, so I don't know if it was just this one or if it's just how he is, but he sounds so bored and not caring, and he's the one that's asking Bruce Pritchard the questions.
Mm-hmm.
And so it almost seems like he has them written down, which is fine, so he doesn't forget them, but it's almost like he's reading off a prompter and he just kind of doesn't care and he's regurgitating. And Bruce Pritchard is like the entire...
Monotone.
Yeah, exactly. And that's saying a lot because I talk to Jim every day.
Haha, bazinga.
Well, sorry,
no.
we're having an error. Geoff won't be here for the rest of the video.
But no, Bruce Pritchard is like the entire charisma of the show. Like, this dude has no charisma.
Fair enough.
So I'm just like, oh, like when he talks, it's like some things you could tell he has genuine interest in, but for the most part, and the episode I watched was the Hardy Boys, because I felt even if it was bad, that's the one that would interest me the most because I love the Hardy Boys.
Makes sense.
And there was interesting stuff in there, and Bruce Pritchard's stories are just like I said last year, talking about Table for Three. Bruce Pritchard's stories are just stuff you wouldn't know because he does all the behind the scenes stuff. He's the talent agent. He's worked for both WWE and TNA, and just the stuff that he can regurgitate and that he remembers, and it's fascinating. And then you have Conrad Thompson, and it's like, wow. Like, I thought Roman Reigns didn't have charisma, but you take the cake, my friend.
No, Roman Reigns has charisma. He just doesn't know how to use it.
Well, he has charisma now, not that they've let him be Joe.
Yeah, well, that's a whole nother. We'll get to that later.
We will get to that later, absolutely. But yeah, so that's my pick. Over to Jim.
Okay. Come over to me. There I am. All right. So I'm just going to list here. Okay. So where's that work show? I think I've only seen maybe 2 things on the network this entire year. I don't watch a lot of network programming outside of pay-per-views.
Okay.
I'll be honest with you. And while it has gotten by leaps and bounds better in the last few months, it was not so for a large portion of the year. So much like last year, I have to give it to 205 Live just because it's the only other thing I've seen on the network. And for a large portion of 2018, it was the shafted redhead stepchild, and they did not know what to do with it.
That's fair.
Until they finally hired the GM and said, hey, maybe we should just let guys wrestle.
Fair. Well, until they figured out how to write stories, but we'll get to that. So,
True.
are you good, Jim, or you have more
Yep,
to say?
that's pretty much mine. Like I said, it's mostly just for what happened in the middle of the year and because I didn't have anything else to give it to.
Fair. So we're going to go to my best network show of the year, and to contrast Jim, 205 Live.
Oh, contrasting.
Because since I started actually scoring it this year, of everything that I've seen on the network this year, and I've seen like photo shoot and best table for three, stuff like that, which is all fantastic. This has been the most entertaining to me. And as you pointed out, especially since they got DM the GM.
That is
and
true.
they figured out, number one, the talent can kind of speak for themselves in the ring, but number two, since they figured out how to actually write feuds, like I've said before, when I started doing the scoring with like the Lucha House Party, Brian Kendrick and Jack Gallagher stuff. Spanky. Well, he wasn't Spanky at the time, he was the Brian Kendrick.
Yeah.
But 205 Live managed to do, like halfway through this year, what WWE has thus far failed to do in like over a decade, and that's make me care about a feud that has no stakes other than we hate these guys.
Ah.
And they're able to do it consistently because there's only one title on 205 Live, so there's ever only one feud on 205 Live that means a damn.
Mm.
Unless you count like number one contendership stuff, but aside from that, everything else, if they want other matches on the show and other feuds to permeate the show, they have to build them and make people care without relying on the standard stuff of the title and stuff surrounding the title.
Right.
And because of that, that combined with just the level of talent on this show and the fact that they're allowing the talent to shine and allowing the superstars to use their talent, it's made me care about everything going on in the show. And when they make me care and I like what I'm seeing physical talent wise, to me that makes a great show.
Fair enough.
So 205 Live. Ding.
Yep. Okay.
Over to Jim.
Very well. All right. So for my best network show, it's one of the things I saw, and I really enjoyed this. I thought it was pretty good. And I'm not sure if Geoff actually got around to watching this or not.
Okay.
But I thought it was very enjoyable. Even though I know not everybody was sold on it.
Mm-hmm.
I thought what they did with it, not for the sake of it being necessarily good, but just for it being enjoyable to watch. It was fun.
Okay.
So I gave it to the House Hardy Halloween.
I've wanted to see that. I never got around to watching that.
Yes. This was a pretty fun special with it's about an hour long, and filmed entirely at the Hardy compound, which is the base premise of Matt Hardy in honor of finally
in honor of his retirement?
Oh no, in honor of him finally banishing Sister Abigail,
Mm-hmm.
which is the storyline at the time. He said he was going to throw a Halloween bash and invite people to it. But Matt Hardy sensed that somebody was trying to countermand and undermine the Halloween bash, and so they needed to be on high alert.
Okay.
And so we see Matt Hardy doing an assortment of preparation for the event, including going around and delivering invitations to everybody. Including his good friends George Washington, the giraffe, and his other friends around the compound. We see him assigning tasks, saying that Ruby is going to be he's going to put the guest list together. Ruby's going to be in charge of food. Senor Benjamin will of course be in charge of prepping the grounds.
Mm-hmm.
And he puts Brother Nero in charge of entertainment.
Makes sense. He's the musically gifted one.
Yeah. And so he sets this whole thing up, and basically we see him go through all the events, and we see him kind of build everything up and get ready for the major event, as we see a shadowy figure preparing to crash House Hardy and steal their power. And
Okay.
we end up getting to the night of the Halloween party, where there's an assortment of cameos.
Superstar cameos?
Mm. An assortment of superstar cameos. over the course of the night. These include, if I can remember all of them off the top of my head. There's a few different ones. The two that mattered, one of them was The Godfather.
Okay. As the Godfather?
Yes, The Godfather came out with his hose.
Nice.
And the other one was the Hurricane.
That makes sense. They are best friends after all.
Yeah. So they got to the Halloween party. Jeff Hardy played some music in the ring. They did it inside the Dome of Deletion.
Okay.
And so Jeff Hardy played some music from the ring, and there was a party going on. But and he tasked Vanguard 1 to be in charge of security.
Makes sense.
But we see all the security measures being countermanded. We see somebody coming in that shouldn't be. We see Vanguard 1 being distracted with an attractive female drone in cartoon fashion.
Okay.
And eventually we see a series of events going on where we see at one point we see Brother Nero throw himself into the Lake of Resurrection and then come back out as Itchweed.
Nice.
And then at one point the Godfather ended up out there. And, after witnessing Jeff Hardy do this, he was like, oh, what the hell? And he puts himself in the lake. And we cut back inside where it has been determined through the course of, Matt doesn't know right away, although he senses it through his powers, that there is an imposter here at this party that should not be here. And it turns out it's an imposter Hurricane who, gets in the ring and tries to steal Matt Hardy's powers. But as he's, Matt Hardy's trying to shut him down as the evil Hurricane duplicate is gaining control. He is stopped by fresh out of the Lake of Resurrection, the resurrected Papa Shango, who shuts him down with voodoo magic and then banishes him.
Nice. That sounds awesome.
That's awesome. And then at the very end, in a hint of maybe there'll be more of this, is we cut to the actual Hurricane who's chained to a wall somewhere. And we see the shadowy figure is basically ends it with, I'll get you next time, Gadget, next time.
Nice.
We don't know who the shadowy figure is. All we know is that as of the end of this, he has the Hurricane captive, and that was where we left off.
And you can't recognize the voice, huh?
No, it's got a voice modulator.
Fair. That's nice.
Voice modulator in a black cloak. We don't know who it is, but
nice.
There you go. But that happened. It's pretty cool. On the WWE Network, go check it out. It's fun.
The one I didn't even know this was a thing until I was going through it the other night to see what all I didn't see in 2018.
Mm-hmm.
And one I kind of want to see is the New Day's New Year's Bash.
Oh, yeah, I want to see that too. I didn't get to watch that. That was actually on the USA Network.
Ah, okay. Anyway, all right.
Because they aired that on Wednesday during the holiday week of things that were going on. Because I think it was the Wednesday right after Christmas, but before New Year's.
Fair. All right, so moving on, we're going to the what the fuck of the year. Tiff, you got anything for that?
It's not a big thing. Just like maybe John Cena's hairdo. It's just like, oh my goodness, really?
Yeah, that qualifies.
I don't think it's too
tough. Oh, jeez.
His dad hair.
Yeah, dad hair works.
For those watching who are unaware, the reason he has it is because he had to grow it out for the movie he was shooting in China. That's why he was in China for like 6 months. And, of course, being John Cena, he is very social media savvy. So he knew that everyone hated the hair. And when asked about it in interviews on talk shows and stuff, he actually came out and said, well, a lot of people don't like it. I was going to cut it and, go back to the WWE look, but they don't like it. And so, screw it, I'm going to keep it. I don't fucking care.
Huh.
So he has it to troll everybody. That's the only reason he has the hair like that.
Well, there
as
you
far
go.
as I know. Which I think is brilliant.
That is brilliant.
Yes, I agree with Tiff. It looks incredibly stupid.
Yeah, yes it does. All right, Geoff.
For me, I forgot to change the image. Hang on a sec.
Idiot.
Yeah, I know. I know. All right, so this was my what the fuck of the year. Oh, this way. Now, Roman Reigns versus Samoa Joe at Backlash. Not only the fact that match actually happened, which was stupid in and of itself, but That was the main event, people. That was the main event of a pay-per-view. When, let's see, where is it? When you had, do I have that image? I think I have the image. Yeah, when this was the other match on the card. What the fuck?
Yes.
Oh, shoot.
Also, mind you, go back to the other image. I like to get. Go on, switch it back.
I am. I have to go get it.
Uh,
All right, there you go.
you not just have all your shit imported in there?
I only have 2 cameras, dude.
Your point?
The other camera has the X-Pound logo on it.
Hmm?
This is my other camera, dude. This is the one that I have the image on.
See, on my minicam, I just import all the images. They're just there, and I just click the one I want to be on the screen.
Oh, I didn't know you could do that. Fair enough. Anyway, you wanted to make a point.
Yeah, this isn't even a title match.
That was my point, is you have the WWE title match, on the card, and this is the main event. The fuck? Like, that just boggles my mind. I'm like, are you really devaluing the WWE title that much? You're saying Roman Reigns is more important than the championship? Fucking what?
Yeah.
That was so bad.
Yep.
So, over to Jim.
All right. Well, I had to talk about this and fit it in somewhere, so I did. And I chose to put it here because it was less of an OMG and more of a what the fuck. So, and I'm technically probably going a little more than I should be allowed to cover in one award, but I think it connects enough that I can do it.
Okay.
Because this entire thing, I mean, you could technically make an argument that some of it was a little bit beforehand, but really the entirety of the majority of this started like the second week of January of 2018. Somewhere in that general vicinity.
Okay.
Oh, God, excuse me. I'm sorry. But because the two are related, well, not related, but because the two are affiliated in most people's minds, I felt it was worth covering both of them simultaneously in this one award. Because between the two of them, holy shit.
Okay.
So, my sure what the fuck, that was sort of ongoing for the majority of the first half of the year.
Okay.
Because it started really bad on one side at the beginning of the year. Then it went to the other side the second half of the year. The whole thing just completely collapsed. It's like, oh, God.
Okay.
So, where's my picture here? Here's the picture. These are not in any kind of order. Here we go. So, from what was effectively the top of the company to, by the end of 2018, nothing. Because,
I think I know where you're going with this.
I give you what should be somebody should make a DVD of.
Oh, no.
I give you the complete and utter self-destruction of Enzo and Cass.
Yeah.
Because what the fuck?
Yeah, poor guy, and poor Cass ends the year in a hospital after having suffered a seizure.
Did he really? I didn't know that.
And I believe there was an image with Carmella at his side.
Well, good I guess she still does care about him. Good for her.
So, yeah, poor Cass. Enzo can go fuck himself, but poor Cass.
Well, I said, yeah, that sucks for Cass, but at the same time, Cass got fired and he deserved it.
That is true. I'm just saying poor Cass for having to end the year like that. That's just, wow.
Yes, that does suck for anybody. I mean, pure human empathy, but between the two of you, what the fuck?
Yes.
Let's go. We started off the second week of January where we found out that Enzo was being investigated on a rape charge.
Which turned out to be baseless.
Well, let's be fair. It turned out that the police determined they did not have enough evidence to proceed with charges. That doesn't mean it didn't happen.
Fair.
It means it's less likely that it happened. It doesn't mean that it did not happen.
Fair.
But at any rate, yeah. So he goes through all this, goes from being the cruiserweight champ at top of the company to being fired within weeks. Then having this ongoing legal battle about this. Then puts out a rap song about it. And just gets them completely utterly destroyed. And then decides to end the year by crashing, I believe, what was it, Survivor
Series. Yeah.
in the front row and starting to do his gimmick and getting tackled and hauled out by security.
Yeah. Now, let's be fair. He didn't get fired because of that. He got fired because he lied to Vince McMahon about it.
Yeah, it's true. He got fired for lying. You're not wrong. On the part of Big Cass, however, in addition to
he got fired because he was an asshole or a casshole, as Eric
casshole. Well, first of all, Big Cass was injured for a big chunk at the beginning of the year,
which is fine. That happens.
Yeah, that happened. Then when he finally, came back, he decided to just be an asshole to everybody, including Vince McMahon, and blatantly ignore Vince and continue a beating beyond what it was supposed to be. On SmackDown, and just piss everybody off by refusing to listen to anybody at all, and just got himself fired.
I want to know where he got the authority to basically countermand Vince McMahon and do a bit that Vince McMahon told him not to do.
He didn't. He just fucking did it. That was the point.
Right, but he would have had to have the authority to tell the other people around him, this is what's going to happen, and let's do this. I want to know where he got that authority, because literally, if he didn't have that authority, everybody under the sun should have been like, that's not been approved by Vince. We can't let you go through that curtain with that midget.
Well, no.
Vince didn't want him to do that bit at all, and he went and did it anyway. And Vince was like, well, just make it short. And he didn't make it short.
Well, that was the point. Is Vince approved the gimmick. He said, all right, go out, do the bit, but all you're going to do is hit him with a big boot, and that's going to be the end of it. Yeah. And as far as I knew, that was going to be the end of it. But once it was out there, it was just Cass and the midget.
Yeah.
Little person. It was just Cass and the little person, and Cass needed to continue beating down on him and just having a horrible fucking segments.
Yeah.
So it's just like, ugh. So, no, both of these two just, wow.
They kind of got what they deserved, except for the seizure. No one deserves that.
No, that's horrible, but still, when Cass has a tattered version of it there in the picture, I own that shirt. I'm ashamed that I own that shirt. Because, yeesh. All right. But yeah, that happened.
That did happen.
Moving on.
So this is the one the one category that John has a voice in, because he made me promise that this needs to make the list here. And so
yes, Richter Hammer had something for this.
Yes, so this is his one and only contribution this year. So he is actually in this video this year, so tradition continues. And this is John's what the fuck moment. And we all know what that is.
Oh, you got a GIF. Wow.
That is the Titus World Slide. Because we all agree that was what the fuck? What just happened?
The hell? Oh my god.
And it's still debatable whether that was planned or not. I don't think it was. However, if you go watch the first and thus far only episode of the Botch Club, the Good Brothers actually interview Titus about it, and he does say it was planned. However, the reasoning he has behind it is complete and utter bullshit.
Okay.
And it's done just for the bit, which makes me believe it wasn't planned, and he's just saying it for the bit.
Okay.
Because he's like, well, yeah, I went under there looking for like you guys or something, or for somebody, blah blah blah, and I found this and that under there. Like, he had this whole reasoning why he purposefully went under the ring, and it's a load of bullshit. It's horseshit. So that's why I'm thinking, no, it probably wasn't planned.
No.
But yes, that is John's what the fuck.
All right, well there you go.
So
well done.
Do you have a runner up, Jim?
What do you mean?
I do not. A runner up for the what the fuck of the year.
Oh, are we doing runner ups? Okay.
If you have one. If you don't have one, then I don't have one. But
yeah, no, I do not either.
Okay. Yeah, just if you have one, we do them at the end of
yeah. No, I do not.
All right. So
our next award will be the OMG of the year.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the image. So go over to
While
Tiff.
You're doing that, Tiff, do you have an OMG of the year?
There it is.
The OMG of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
No, not really.
Okay.
All right.
Geoff, what do you got?
I got this.
Curve stomp?
No one fucking saw that coming. Like, wait, what? That's legal again? Oh my god.
That's true.
And that is literally the moment it became legal again. That is Seth Rollins doing it on Finn Balor at Raw, making it legal once again, and everyone going, "Holy shit!"
Yeah.
So that is my OMG of the year.
All right then. That is fair.
Over to Jim.
Yes. So my OMG of the year, because I mean, there's a lot of things have WWE, and you're like, no, very things that are literally like, oh my god, this my OMG of the year is not an oh my god, or even an oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
Mine is an oh my god.
Oh, okay. It's a bad thing. Fair enough.
And I thought that it was worth the OMG just because this was just oh my god.
Okay.
That was kind of literally my reaction.
That's fair.
Yeah. So where is it? Where's the picture I need? Where is my picture for this award? Oh wait, there it is. So yeah.
Yeah, that qualifies.
Oh, my name is
I
Joe.
kind of had that. I kind of had that too, but I wasn't sure if that would be
No, that's fine.
customary.
yeah.
So
Yeah, no, that's
Yeah.
appropriate. Roman Reigns coming out on Raw and announcing that he has spent the previous 11 years battling leukemia, and that it's been in remission for most of that time, but that it has come back, and as a result, he must relinquish the WWE Universal title in order to seek treatment.
Yeah.
Because it seems like almost nobody in even the company knew this. And it sounds like even Dean and Seth didn't know, because the stories I've read is that he basically told Dean and Seth that, hey, I got to go out and make an announcement. I'm not going to say what it is, just pay attention, but be ready to come out and meet me on the top of the ramp when I'm done and I'm coming back, okay? And that was about all he told them, so they didn't even know.
So he asked them to come out.
Yeah, he said, when I'm done, come out and meet me on, you should probably be ready to come out and meet me on the ramp.
Okay.
So they did that. So yeah, very important. And we do. I haven't really heard any updates, but we do hope that, of course, that Roman's recovery and treatment is going well.
Indeed.
mhm. Indeed.
But that's one of those unfortunate oh my gods that shouldn't. That does strike in the same manner, but unfortunately does not have a positive connotation to it. It's a shame.
Any runner-ups?
Still holding out hope for surprise Royal Rumble entry from him, but I don't know what kind of condition he's in, if that's even possible.
Right.
All right. I do not have runner-ups for that.
All right. So we'll move on to the biggest surprise of the year. Over to Tiff.
Actually, you know what? Hang on a minute.
Okay.
Actually, no, I am going to give a quick runner-up on OMG of the year. After being pointed out to me later, just a quick oh my god, OMG of the year to Brie Bella for trying to murder Liv Morgan.
Yeah, kicking Liv Morgan in the head. Yeah.
You're
I could
freaking
agree
somebody
with
a
that.
freaking concussion that way. But yes, moving along.
Well, she did get a concussion.
She did get, yeah, that's how you get somebody a concussion.
So yeah.
Moving on.
Biggest surprise of the year. Over to Tiff.
Yes, biggest surprise of the year.
Probably a couple of them. There's Rey Mysterio returning for the Royal Rumble. I don't know if that's possible, but
Yeah.
That qualifies.
That's January. That qualifies.
Daniel Bryan coming back and then turning heel, and Becky Lynch turning heel. I'm like, what?
Yeah. Daniel Bryan. Yeah. Becky Lynch. Does that qualify as a heel turn?
Yeah.
Has she really ever been booed? Honestly.
Not really. But as far as WWE is concerned, it's a heel turn, so I will allow.
Yeah. Their attempt at a Becky Lynch heel turn qualifies as a what? Really?
Yeah.
I'll give you that. That's fair.
Geoff, how about yours?
So this is my biggest surprise of the year. I didn't see it coming.
Really?
Yes, Ronda Rousey showing up at the end of the Royal Rumble. I was like, wait, because we thought, people thought she might show up during the Rumble as an entrant or whatever. No one expected her to just casually walk out after the Rumble and be like, that shit around your waist, it's mine.
Yeah.
Like the people thought either she was going to show up during the Rumble as an entrant, or if she didn't show up during the Rumble, that she wasn't going to show up until later. That maybe her outright debut was going to be WrestleMania. No one expected end of the Rumble.
Yeah, that's true.
And so when her music and she came up, I was like, wait, what? Really?
Yep.
And then the even bigger surprise is that she did fuck all except point at the sign. That was the other big surprise. Like, you're Ronda Rousey. You're not gonna punch someone in the face. Come on.
Yep.
But yeah, so that's my biggest surprise of the year.
Yeah.
Over to Jim.
All right. Tiff actually mentioned mine,
Okay.
but that's okay. Let me find my picture. Where is it? There it is. Because this was just a surprise for me, because in no way did I mean, a little bit before it, you heard it might be, but just as a surprise overall, it was just like wow. But Daniel Bryan announcing he was cleared to wrestle, like
Yeah.
whoa, where did
Yeah,
that come from? You were supposed to never wrestle again.
that is true. I didn't think about that.
I mean, we knew you wanted to, but you weren't supposed to be able to. And the fact that he
Could be a
announced he was
possibility for Paige too.
yeah, we'll see. But right now, it's like, hey, yeah. So the difference is Daniel's was a concussion thing. Paige's is a neck thing.
Well, we knew Daniel was physically able to wrestle again. He's been physically able for the better part of a year before he was cleared to wrestle. It's just WWE wouldn't clear him. Daniel had gone on a record as saying, I'm fine. I can wrestle. WWE just won't let me wrestle.
Either way, him actually announcing on WWE TV and wrestling on WWE again was a real big surprise, because nobody thought that was going to happen. So
yeah, WWE clearing him was a big surprise. I'll get through.
yeah, nobody thought that was going to happen. So that was definitely a big surprise.
All right. Well, I do have a runner-up.
Okay. Let me just
Back to the Royal Rumble. That's my runner-up.
Molly?
I did not expect that whatsoever. She had been doing some things for WWE, but nothing really on TV. She'd been doing some network stuff, like some Table for Three and stuff like that, but nothing really overt. And, all the other ones, most of the other ones were kind of expected, like Trish and Lita, that's kind of expected. Jackie, I kind of expected because she was that year's Hall of Fame, or the previous year's Hall of Fame induction, so it makes sense she would be coming back.
Yep.
Like, the only other one that I kind of sort of didn't expect, but probably expected more than Molly Holly, was Kelly Kelly. Because everybody was talking about that thing. We want Kelly Kelly to come back.
Yeah.
But no one said Molly.
Well,
Even though of all of them, she's the one that's been consistently wrestling for, like, ever.
Yeah. The thing is, Molly was on Raw with all the women for the Raw anniversary, so it's not like she wasn't there earlier in the week.
That's true. It's not like she had any bits. It's not like she did anything like a Trish or Lita where they'd come back for like a quick storyline or anything. She just kind of carted out, "Hi, I'm Molly," and walked off.
True. You are not wrong.
So that's why I didn't expect her to come back, and then she showed up. I'm like, really? I'm like, okay.
Fair enough.
Then completely forgetting the fact that she is a wrestling trainer and has been wrestling, just to see how good she still is in the ring, and the fact that she could still do it.
Oh yeah.
Like, she's really good. Like, holy shit.
Yep.
She's in damn good shape too. And also the short hair, I think fits her better than the long hair ever did.
Oh yeah. And I like how she paused and did did the little pose on the turnbuckle, because that was reminiscent of Mighty Molly.
Absolutely. Well, it was very much a Holly family thing too, because Crash always did that, except he would do the Elroy thing with his hand under his chin. But Crash would always pause and do kind of like the, yeah, I'm a Hollywood of it.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that was cool.
By the way, completely random, where is Hardcore Holly?
Running his wrestling school.
Oh, Bob has a wrestling school? Okay, that's fair.
I believe so. He's either doing that or he's working for another company as a trainer kind of thing. But I think he runs his own school.
Fair enough. Good for him. That's cool. I want to give a runner-up in this category to Shawn Michaels getting back in the ring.
Yeah.
Because didn't end well, but it was a surprise. Shouldn't have happened, but it was a surprise.
Yeah, surprise, surprise, the born-again Christian sells out for money. Like, that kind of pissed me off, because I'm just like, wow, yeah, you just fucking sold out, dude. Like, you hardcore sold out.
Yeah, pretty much.
And we're getting to that. We will, in fact, get to that.
Okay, we'll keep that in mind. Moving
Because
along.
the next category is worst pay-per-view of the year, so we are getting to that.
Oh, good. I guess we're in agreement then.
So we'll go over to Tiff first.
Tiff, worst pay-per-view, got anything?
Worst pay-per-view, best pay-per-view, no.
Okay.
Right.
Well, Jeff, I think you and I have the same one, judging by your comment, so...
No. This is my worst pay-per-view of 2018.
Oh, okay.
My God, was that a fucking train wreck? Oh my God. It was basically what not to do and how to be Vince McMahon 20 years ago. My God. Like, blatantly racist, like, heels. Fucking Jinder Mahal showing he can't wrestle. Just, oh my God.
We already knew that.
No, but before he could kind of cover it up, he'd make a mistake here and there. But this, and we're getting to that too, mind you. That moment, we're getting to that later. But this, no. That was a whole new level of your ass needs to be fired. You're no wrestler.
Fair enough.
The only good thing to come out of this was the Titus World slide.
That's fair.
Because even the Royal Rumble itself was, even though some of the people that came back was like, okay, that's kind of cool. Like Hornswoggle, who the fuck saw that coming?
Well, I will give credit to that pay-per-view. The ladder match was good. The Fatal 4-Way ladder match for the Intercontinental title was a good match.
Fair. But for the most part, this thing was just a pure unadulterated train wreck.
That's fair.
Also, I didn't actually watch Crown Jewel.
That's fair.
But since I know you have Crown Jewel, I'm going to throw this up here because that is my runner-up. Because, my God, the shit surrounding Crown Jewel, that Crown Jewel never should have happened. That's why that's my runner-up.
No, I agree. My number one is Crown Jewel.
Hey, we're using the same image.
we are using the same image. But yeah, so yeah, this happened. But this was, I mean, if you thought Greatest Royal Rumble was bad, I mean, this had a couple of good matches on the card, but it was like just what the fuck after what the fuck after what the fuck.
Yeah.
Like just so much what the fuck. Like number one, the controversy surrounding it just right off the bat.
Yeah, that's why it never should have happened. No one wanted to do it.
Yeah.
And Shawn Michaels came out and said the only reason he did it was for the money because he was like, there's no way I'm saying no to that much money. So Vince must have offered him like a fucking city or some shit.
Oh, yeah. I don't doubt it.
You know, I'm just like, okay, even if the money was good, even if it was a lot of money, still, that's kind of a sellout, dude. And, you know, not to get religious or political, but it looks kind of bad when the born-again Christian sells out to go into the land of Islam. Really? Really, Sean? Come on, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. But among other things on top of that, I mean, what else do we have? Number one, they squeezed 12 matches onto this card. Most of which did not have that much time.
2-hour pay-per-view?
No, 3. Always 3.
It was a 3. Okay, well, that's not terrible, but still, 12 matches, that's still a lot of matches.
Yeah, I mean, we got to realize, you have to realize, the entire WWE World Cup tournament happened in this pay-per-view.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So,
and then there was that clusterfuck. Oh.
Yeah, all the quarterfinal matches went less than, they had maybe 7 minutes each.
So it was a squash match tournament.
Kind of, yeah. So they had all the quarterfinal. I mean, Shinsuke had a shitty match against Rusev that nobody cared about. Because Rusev lost, and that just disappointed everybody. Then you had all the quarterfinal matches, which some of them were not terrible, but at the same time, it was like, these are all short matches and nobody cares. And then Kurt Angle lost, and people were like, well, that's stupid. The bar faced the New Day, which we've seen like a million times, and they just retained because the Big Show got involved.
Who did Angle wrestle?
He wrestled Dolph Ziggler, and then Drew McIntyre just like kicked him in the face.
Oh. And then they saw another match that they didn't give a shit because they've seen it 10 billion times in Roman versus Brock.
No, that wasn't at that show.
I see Roman and Brock on the card, or at least on the poster.
Nope.
So the poster lies?
The poster lies.
Fair.
The poster does in fact lie. The poster does lie because no, Roman was not on the card.
Huh. The champ didn't show up, huh?
He wasn't the. Remember, this was right after Roman said, "Oh shit, I got leukemia. I got to go by."
Oh, that's why that's what was supposed to happen before he had to. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. So number one, we had the World Cup quarterfinal match, which then we had the semifinal matches, which were actually good. Dolph and Seth put on a good match, which is to be expected, and Miz and Ray did a decent job. But then we had AJ Styles versus Samoa Joe in a WWE title match that was just lackluster as hell. Which for those two guys, there's no excuse for that shit.
The entire feud was lackluster. I was real that's probably another run-up for biggest surprises. How shit that feud was.
Now, hey Wendy.
Yeah. Especially from two guys who know each other so well and have worked with each other like so many times and for so long, for that to be the outcome of their like quote unquote big feud in WWE, that's yeah.
So that happened. We had what was basically a non-existent WWE Universal title, for the vacant Universal title, that ended because Baron Corbin started the match by bashing Braun in the back of the head with a belt, and then he got F5 5 times.
Okay then.
He kicked out each time, but eventually he stayed down, so that was almost a non-match. Then, of course, the World Cup Finals, where The Miz got injured and Shane inserted himself into the match and won the World Cup tournament despite not being in the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, we rounded out the night with 4 old guys that shouldn't be here.
Well, see, I think that match is fine. I think having that match is fine. The problem was that the build-up to it, I don't think was strong, and the stuff behind it was just bad. With Shawn Michaels, again, the born-again Christians selling out for buttloads of money to go to the land of Islam, which that should never be the reason anyone goes to Islam, let alone a Christian or any other type of religious person that's not Islamic. And number two, you have the mayor of Knox County fucking selling out his country and his county for $100,000 for his county. Like, fucking what? Come on, dude.
Yeah, pretty much. Also, let's be because I want to be clear here though. We are, I just want to be real clear for a second. We are not against the the religion of Islam. Obviously, it's radical Islam that we're referring to.
Right. Well, even with radical Islam, I don't have a problem. It's just, I mean, aside from obviously the shit that you should have a problem with, it's the connotation of someone of a different faith going, basically selling out to another faith. That's what I probably like. That connotation,
and that's fair.
What that looks like,
and that's fine. I'm glad you said that. I just wanted to quantify that for the audience.
Yeah, well, that's why I said it was, as you said, quantified.
But yeah, so we had basically authority figures getting involved in the matches. And the entire thing was just a complete clusterfuck. And of course, once again, no women.
Right, which was to be expected anyway, but that's still not a good thing.
No, not at all. Which, as good as Evolution was, no. So yeah, that happened.
Yeah.
All right. So let's roll on here. Switch the image back.
Absolutely. So we're going to the best pay-per-view, which Tiff doesn't have. So give me a moment as I find my image.
You may have a moment as you find your image.
There it is. Okay. So, my pay-per-view of the year. You're looking at it.
Okay.
The Royal Rumble. That pay-per-view was so good, and it was stacked. And the reason I left it is because for once in like so many years, it was the actual Royal Rumble. It felt like a Royal Rumble. You didn't know who was going to win. You had surprise entrants from people you didn't expect to come up from NXT. You had people you didn't expect to actually be in the match, like fucking Rey Mysterio coming the blue fuck out of nowhere.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, it felt like a Royal Rumble. And then the Women's Royal Rumble as the main event fucking tore the house down. It was so good. And the other matches on the card were actually decent too. So just from top to bottom, the card was good, and it delivered on the Royal Rumble. Go watch that. Go watch that pay-per-view. It's such a good pay-per-view.
Fair enough.
Even that main event matchup, that title matchup there, that triple threat, that was a damn good match. And you would expect that looking at Brock, Braun, and Kane. You would think maybe middle to lackluster match at best. No, that was a damn good match.
Fair enough.
So, over to the Jimson.
Yes, I also went for one of the big four, but I went for WrestleMania. Purely because I felt that this was a pretty well-stacked card. You had the debut of Ronda Rousey in a great tag team match, teaming with Kurt Angle to take on the Authority, which was just a great match. You know, so you had that going. You had that going for it. Undertaker had a pretty good match. I mean, let's be fair. There's only so much he could do, but it was a good match.
Actually, his match was one of the better matches he's had in recent years, just because he could actually move.
Well, I say that because it was effectively a squash match.
It was, but it's Undertaker at WrestleMania. What do you expect?
True, but I mean, against John Cena, I mean, it's Big Match John.
Yeah, but the thing is, and here's why I actually liked the match and thought it worked well. It's Big Match John, but remember his storyline going into WrestleMania. It's Big Match John having lost the big match part. It's Big Match John not knowing where he fits in the puzzle of WWE, having been on a losing streak, losing his confidence and trying to regain it again. It's the whole reason he called out The Undertaker is because he needed to prove himself.
That's true.
And so he was kind of at his lowest coming out, and Undertaker basically putting figuratively the nail in the coffin, saying, "No, John, you're at your weakest. I just had hip replacement surgery. I can actually move. I am at the top of my game that I've ever been for the last 5 years. I'm going to bury you." And that's what he did.
Fair enough.
And if you think about it, this is the match in the storyline that turned everything around for Cena, because after this, Cena had the whole reflection thing of reevaluating himself, came back, and guess what? Since he's come back from that, the few times he's come back from that, he's been Big Match John. Sure, he's lost a couple matches here and there, but you don't see the weakness you saw leading into WrestleMania and the WrestleMania match.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's back. He's just old.
Also, let's not forget, this was the WrestleMania where Daniel Bryan set foot in the ring again and teamed up
Yes.
with Shane O'Mac to take on the Kevin and Sammy show.
Yes. Which I would have rated higher if that match wasn't so shit.
Yeah. Now, let's not be saying, I mean, there were some iffy moments, Braun Strowman and Nicholas for one thing, but...
Oh, God, don't remind me.
You know, but otherwise, there was enough on the show to really have the carry. I mean, Charlotte defeated Asuka, and nobody expected that to happen.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Nicholas, that could be a runner-up for what the fuck moment of the year, because really...
Yeah. Yeah, but overall, it was a good solid card, and I think that it was a decent card. I think WrestleMania was good.
Yeah.
I liked it.
I think Taker's return and Ronda Rousey kind of made it.
Yeah, I can agree with that. And Daniel Bryan. All right.
Yeah.
So the next award up on our list is the worst promo or segment of the year.
Indeed. Over to Tiff.
Tiff, you got anything?
Tiffles. Uh-oh, she fell asleep.
Tiff.
Tiffy. Damn it, why should she do the ones that she has stuff and she's like, not there? No.
It happens.
This makes me sad.
Mm.
Tiffles. She might have fallen asleep.
Yep.
We could come. Oh, she's there.
She is.
Hey, Tiff.
And we are where we are?
Worst promo or
segment of the year.
I just said that. Please do not talk over me.
It's in stereo.
I think I would have to go for the most recent thing. It's like, really, you have to go that way, and it's the one where they did the Alexa Bliss thing of, like, the in the changing room. I mean, he did absolutely
Tiff,
everything. He knocked on the door. What?
yeah, that was in January. That's 2019. That wouldn't count toward the 2018 awards. Though you're right, that definitely qualifies for 2019 awards, and I may heavily consider that.
Okay, well then I got nothing.
Sorry.
Well, here's mine, and Tiff will probably agree with this. And I think this is universal. I think we all agree with this. This is the worst thing ever to come out of 2018. Probably one of the worst things ever to come out of WWE in the recent years. Because what the fuck?
I forgot about that, but yes, I'm amending
Yep.
mine to that. Yes.
What the fuck? And I feel bad for Sammy, but what the fuck?
Yeah.
No, just no WWE. That's no.
No, I'm amending mine to agree with that. That was so fucking bad. Oh my god.
Yeah, for those who don't know, that's Bobby Lashley's sisters.
Yeah.
Which
No, what?
not only do I feel bad for Sammy for having to do it, but that was the last thing he did before he got injured and disappeared for like 6 months. It was so bad.
It was bad. Yeah, that was. Now here's a question at hand. Comparatively to last year, what's worse, this or Bailey? This is your life.
This.
Okay.
Because at least with Bailey, This Is Your Life, Alexa was still entertaining.
Fair.
Not even Sammy could salvage this. And that's saying a lot because Sami Zayn's awesome.
He is awesome.
And he's entirely charismatic. He could salvage almost anything, but not that.
But the question is, could El Generico have salvaged it?
Yes, because El Generico would have beat the shit out of the three of them.
That is true.
So, anyone else got like runners up or anything?
I have a runner-up.
Go for it.
And I meant mine to yours, but my runner-up. Let me find the right picture. I have all my pictures here. Yeah, this is not one specific thing. It's a series of things that was related to this that happened over the course of time.
Mm-hmm.
Over the course of a few weeks. Drake Maverick piss jokes.
I missed those. That's fair. That does sound terrible.
Yeah, Drake Maverick. It started with this segment here. This was at a. This was in a pay-per-view match. This is a tag title match between the Bar and their friend the Big Show there, and the AOP, who that was at Survivor Series when they had that tag team champs versus tag team champions match.
Yeah.
And so they were doing this match, and part of the match, Drake Maverick tried to get involved to help the AOP, and when it turned out, he ran into the Big Show, and the shtick is supposed to be that he was so scared of the Big Show that he pissed his pants.
Okay, then.
But as people noted, there was hardly any water on his pants. The room backstage had it that the water pack or whatever he had in there did not properly break or leak, and so there was almost no liquid there. And there was also rumor that to compensate for this, he did actually piss his pants to compensate for the lack of functioning equipment. And there was a sit there where you see where Cesaro's sitting right there in the shot. There's a point where after this happened, Cesaro actually had to grab his pants and kind of pull them out and like point to the camera that it was there so the camera would see it.
Okay, then.
It was so fucking stupid. And then they followed up with several weeks of the superstars from various tag teams making piss jokes at Drake Maverick, and Drake Maverick avenging this at one point by when the AOP was having their feud against, I don't even remember what the fuck team they were feuding with at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But Drake Maverick went in their locker room and pissed on their. Oh no, it was he pissed on it was Rude and Gable, and while they were having a match in the ring, Drake Maverick interrupted the match to distract them by being in the locker room and pissing on Bobby Lashley's robe.
Oh yeah.
I mean Bobby Roode.
Yeah, Bobby Roode's robe. Sorry, wrong Bobby. Yeah, I'm pissing on Bobby Roode's robe that he had left in the locker room.
Okay, then.
So yeah, and there's several weeks of just piss-related humor. Like, no, we're not 5. Go to hell.
Yeah, pretty much. That is fair. So, then we go to the best promo work segment of the year. Tiff?
Yes.
The best promo. I don't have one.
That's fair.
Geoff.
I'm pretty sure you're going to agree with me on this one, and if you don't, I don't know why. But that is my best promo or segment of the year.
Which one?
Look at his eyes.
Oh, that one. Okay, yes, I can agree with you on that.
It's the quote-unquote shoot promo after Brock Lesnar attacked him, because that right there, pay attention, everybody in the fucking locker room, that right there, masterclass on how to conduct a fucking promo. That's how you cut a promo and make people care, because holy shit, that is why Paul Heyman is the best. Because it's the emotion stuff, like, it felt real, like, to the point that people were calling it shoot promo. Like, even we thought it might actually be shoot promo. We didn't know if it was real or not. Of course, they're not to be not, and Paul was just acting, but oh my god. If you haven't seen that promo, people, go watch it on WWE's YouTube channel. Also, if you go on there, they also have the unaired ending to that promo, which is actually still pretty good. That if you add the ending to it, I think the promo's better without it, but I think I think maybe they should have aired it with the ending because it would have added something to it. But at the same time, I can see why they didn't, because it's like kind of not necessary.
Fair.
I don't know if you remember, Jim, but it ends with him saying unless, like he's hinting that maybe he's going to like turn on Brock and help Roman Reigns.
Yeah, which was a crock of shit, but
and given what happened, I think maybe it might have been slightly better if they'd have left it in, but still, it's on WWE's YouTube channel, so you can check that out. But I mean, and look at how dedicated he is to the bit. He's completely unshaven, unkempt. He's got fucking, I don't know, that bruise or dirt on his face. He got like fucking red eyes, make it really look like he was like crying and really hurt and shit. Like, dude, that's fucking dedication.
Yeah, very much so.
They're just fucking professional actors who aren't dedicated as he was to this.
It's true. It was incredible dedication. I mean, that was just so good.
So yeah, that was my promo of the year, Jim.
All right. So give me, let's see here, my promo of the year.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to put myself together here. A picture. Let me see here. Here's my photo, damn it. There we go. Let's see. I was thinking of this from a perspective, not from a promo's perspective, but from the segment portion of that award.
Fair.
And in terms of one of the best segments I've ever seen, particularly how a segment ends, I had to give it to the Raw closing segment from Raw on November 14th.
Okay.
Because, not necessarily for the entire segment, for how the segment ended and just the image it portrayed and how it worked.
Okay.
It was incredible. Because as much as the name was being used before that and they were kind of pushing it beforehand, from my perspective, the closing segment of Raw on November 14th was, in my mind, the night that the man was born.
Yeah.
Of course, the segment that resulted in Nia Jax throwing and Becky Lynch leading the night before the Raw before Survivor Series when Becky Lynch led Team SmackDown, the women's team, to assault the Raw women's team who were in the ring with Alexa Bliss, the champion. Sorry, not the champion, with Alexa Bliss, the captain of the Raw team. And as an assault ensued after Ronda, the Raw champion, had been tapped out to disarm her in the locker room, when an errant punch from Nia Jax broke Becky Lynch's face, resulting in a concussion and a broken nose and a few other things. And despite this, Becky continued her assault continue leading her team and left the arena looking like this, wiping the blood off and almost like she enjoyed the fact that she was bleeding and fucked up. That was the night the man was born, and it was incredible.
Yeah, I don't think she had a concussion. I think it was just the broken nose and the blood. Because I think she.
No, she had a concussion. They said so.
Really? Okay. That was also the night that Nia Jax's career, ceased to exist. Because that's when literally the world turned on her and was like, "No, fuck you, bitch. You need to be fired."
And yet she's not.
Yeah, but that's because of her bloodline. Let's be honest here.
But Jess, I gave it to the Becky Lynch segment there. I felt that warranted it.
That is fair. So I do have a runner-up.
I also have a runner-up.
So that's my runner-up. It's AJ and Shinsuke on SmackDown when AJ was... I can't remember who the champ was. I think it might have been Shinsuke. But anyway, AJ was at ringside because they were in a feud. And Shinsuke was facing, I believe it was Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin. Okay. Or like one of them anyway. And Shinsuke was having the match. And whoever the legal man wasn't, like whoever he was not wrestling, like tried to get involved. And AJ saved Shinsuke and everything.
Uh-huh.
And then after the match, like AJ got in the ring and they were doing the whole, Shinsuke saying, thanks for saving me, blah, blah, blah. And then he turns around with the microphone and he goes, but AJ, to tell you the truth, I never needed your help. Boom! Low blow. It was like, wow. And just the way he did that, I'm like, I don't think an American audience would have expected someone like Shinsuke Nakamura, who can barely speak English, to actually do such a nuanced segment. Because there was a lot of nuance to that segment of, I never needed your help. It's like, wow. I just thought that was a great segment, and it was a great way to end the night. Because that was, of course, being, Nakamura being the champ, that was the main event.
Of course.
And the last thing you see is just Nakamura with the shit-eating grin on his face, title on his shoulder, looking down at AJ, who's crumpled on the ground holding his balls.
Yeah. Related note, and that is a run up to list of worst ongoing things. Shinsuke just punching people in the balls for weeks and not actually doing anything.
Yeah. But yeah, that segment was awesome. So what's your runner-up, my friend?
All right, my runner-up, I don't have a picture for it. I didn't get a chance to grab it, but my runner-up is the night Roman Reigns came out and called Brock Lesnar on his bullshit.
Yeah?
Specifically, and I have the date here if I can get my thing up. Let's see. Specifically, that was on the night of February 26th. It was very early in the year when Roman Reigns came out and basically cut a promo where he says that, I don't get what, this was right after... This was right after the whatever the pay-per-view that had just happened there. I think it was Elimination Chamber, if I recall correctly. And Roman came out and he was like, so, once again, I'm here. Brock Lesnar's not here. You know what? That's because he's too good to be an Elimination Chamber hero on Raw. Because he's too busy hanging out on the strip with Dana White taking pictures for UFC. And basically tore to Brock Lesnar for being a hypocrite and for favoring UFC over WWE. And basically said, you think I'm afraid of you, Brock? I'm not afraid of you, and called him a bitch. It was just a really good promo from Roman, who is not at the time necessarily known for particularly good promos. He's much better with it now. But that was the first time he really came out and seemed to let it go, and it was just a really good promo.
It was a good promo.
What's that?
I said it was a good promo.
Yeah, and I remember saying, that's a good promo from that was good. And because he said what all the fans were thinking and been talking about on the internet the last couple of nights before, so he was kind of saying what the fans were thinking, and that really helped to give his promo legitimacy.
Fair.
So I give that to that one. Moving along, yes. Our next award will be the worst feud or storyline of the year.
Indeed.
Tiff, you got anything for that?
Becky and Charlotte.
Really?
Becky and Charlotte.
Yeah, I said really? How come?
She thought it was overrated.
Oh, okay. I can see that. That makes sense.
And to be fair, I can kind of see it too because, to be fair, their feud was really contrived. No one bought it for a second, and no one thought it ever should have been a thing the way they did it because they tried to make Becky the heel and Charlotte the face, and that just didn't work at all.
That is true.
I assume that's why you picked it, Tiff.
Pardon?
I said I'm assuming that's why you picked it because the way they did it just didn't work.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, thanks, Tiff. Geoff, what do you got?
What have I got? I've got this. Because let's be honest, that was the most bullshit feud of the entire year. I'm sorry. Even if it led to Bryan coming out of retirement, it was still a bullshit feud. And that's sad considering who's in it. Look at who's in this feud. How is that the bullshit feud of the year? Seriously. That should not be the bullshit feud of the year, but it is because it never went anywhere. And Sami and Kevin almost came off as the faces of the feud because they had valid fucking points, and Daniel and Shane were being assholes.
Yeah, that's true. They didn't exactly portray the points well.
It's like why Tiff picked the Becky Charlotte. It's because they did it fucking wrong.
Yeah.
It's not believable, and then just
Yeah.
Just and the thing is, they had a good premise for the feud with Kevin Owens headbutting Vince McMahon and pissing off Shane because of it. That, like, the beginning of the feud was so good, where Shane was just so pissed off that he just didn't give a shit about his authority or anything. He just wanted to beat the shit out of Kevin Owens. I'm like, yes, that's a premise for a feud. And then that happened, and you're just like, ugh. And again, like with the Becky Charlotte thing, who the fuck buys Sami Zayn as a heel? Even though he did pretty good with it, who buys him as a heel?
Not a whole lot of people. However, I give him credit. I bought him as a heel for a while. I actually bought him as a heel for a while, only because his heel promos were amazing.
That is true.
Come on, he'd come out and he'd be like, so, let me explain how I screwed somebody at the pay-per-view last night. So look at this. So, I was told that I was banned from ringside, but here's this line between the ramp and the ring, and I did it on the ramp, so it wasn't a violation of the rules. I'm so smart.
That's true.
His heel promos are so, because he was so over the top happy about how much of a dick he was being. It was great.
That is true. I just wish he had changed his theme song.
That was the joke. His joke was supposed to be he's happy-go-lucky being a heel, and it makes no sense, and that's supposed to piss people off. That was the gimmick.
That's fair. Sami was probably the best part of the entire feud, just because of how off the wall he was with his gimmick.
He was so off the wall. It's great.
Yeah.
I can't wait for him to come back. I'm so glad he's on my roster.
It'll be interesting to see if he comes back as a face or a heel.
That will be interesting to see. We'll find out.
Yeah, that feud
him and KO.
Yeah, that feud sucked. So, over to you.
I will give you that. That feud did suck. You want to know what feud sucked more?
Sure.
Let me find a good... this feud.
Yeah.
Because, I'm sorry, number one, nobody in their right mind believes Carmella could in any way hold her own against Charlotte in the ring. I guess Asuka in the ring. Sorry, wrong one. That is in no way believable. Number two, how are we going to get the feud going? Oh, I know. James Ellsworth. First, let's have him show up dressed as Asuka repeatedly and have that distract her enough to keep losing. And then let's put him in a fucking shark cage. The stupidest match WWE's ever invented.
Oh, yeah. Another runner-up to the worst segment of the entire year. Anytime James Ellsworth ever put on Asuka's robe and mask, because as people pointed out, the reason Asuka wears it is because it has cultural significance to the Japanese. That's why she wears it. And to have a white man put that on, that you're literally middle fingering and bitch slapping the entire Japanese culture.
Yeah. This feud was just garbage. I'm sorry. As much as I respect Carmella for being a decent competitor and being better than average on the mic, this feud just didn't really work because it depended on Carmella, not totally believable heel, carrying the feud on the mic because unfortunately Asuka does not speak English as a first language and her promo skills are limited. Yeah, although she's gotten better.
Been painfully obvious over the last year or so. Carmella works much better as a face.
Yes, she does. Now that she's hanging out with R-Truth and doing that's great. That works great for her.
Well, she started as a face because she was with Enzo and Cass.
That was back in NXT, though.
I know, but I'm just saying that she's always been better as the face, always.
Fair enough, but yeah, I'm glad that
Because
she's
she
not a
doesn't
face.
have the in-ring skill to pull it off as a heel without having someone like a James Ellsworth to do all the heavy lifting for her.
Yeah, exactly. And this was just a horrible feud, and just no.
Yeah.
No.
Also, people love Carmella, and it's like the Becky syndrome. To try to force people to hate her just doesn't work.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't work. All right. So let's move it on. We're going to go on from that up to the best feud or storyline of the year.
Actually, I have a.
Oh, you have a runner-up. Go for it.
I have a runner-up.
Okay.
Roman Reigns versus popularity. The fact that they continually tried to make Roman popular and push him as the big baby face, and it never fucking worked because no one likes the character of Roman Reigns. It started to work kind of near the end of the year when they started kind of letting him be himself, like the Cena stuff, and actually like with the Brock cutting promos against Brock and stuff. But even then, it was a very slow build, and most people still didn't like him. They were just choosing the lesser of two evils because they hated Brock not being there even more.
Right.
And as sad as it is, the only real pop he ever got the entire year, the thing that kind of redeemed him, was leukemia. That's what got him over. I was like, no, that's not what should get him over. Come on. That's bad.
Well, let's be fair. Leukemia didn't get him over, quote unquote. Let's not go that far. It's the fact that sympathy is a very strong way to get someone over. And when he came out and he was actually himself, I think part of it was just that he cut a promo as himself and showed that weakness. People sympathized with it. The problem with the Roman Reigns character is he was supposed to be this. You can't even see me because I'm focused on you. Is he was supposed to be this unstoppable brute, this guy that had no weaknesses, this guy that was perfect, and nobody buys that shit. It's the same problem people had with Cena and Hulk Hogan before him. But when he actually showed weakness, showed that side of him, that's what made people like him. Not the fact that he had leukemia, but the fact that the unfortunate situation with the leukemia forced him to show who he really was, and that's what sort of got him over.
Right. Well, and the also telling thing is a lot of it was people are fine with Joe. They respect the man. They just hate the character. And that was nothing was more evident than when he came out and announced he had leukemia, because what they were showing appreciation for was the man behind Roman Reigns and the dedication to the craft that he showed.
Exactly. I agree with that.
And Vince and WWE just don't get it that especially in modern day, the modern fans are savvy enough to have the separation of character and an actor, if you will, or man or person behind the character. Whereas back in the days, there was as much separation because there was kayfabe and there was story. And number one, when half your stories are shit, and number two, when people have been saying for the last decade that kayfabe is dead because of the internet, and yet you try to push kayfabe, you're going to get people literally hating what you're putting out because they don't buy it. They don't believe it. And you're trying, and especially in the age of the internet, trying to push shit down people's throats that they don't want, they're going to push back. And Vince, if you don't believe us, ask the mouse. Like, people pushed back against him for the last fucking year because of Star Wars, and guess what? They're in big fucking trouble, or Lucasfilm is anyway, because of that, because they have lost so much goddamn money because of that. So shoving shit down people's throats doesn't work in modern day. And Roman Reigns is the poster boy for that. So, yeah, so bad. Also, I'm surprised I managed to find an image like that.
Yeah, look at the image. Anyway, moving along.
Yes.
As I was saying, the next award is the best feud or storyline of the year.
Yes.
Tiff, you got anything for that?
Seth and Dean.
Good choice.
That is a good choice.
Those two, they know each other so well that any feud between them is usually entertaining as hell. And it was great to see the difference when they flipped it around and Dean was on the heel side as opposed to Seth. I think that added a great dynamic to it. However, Dean, I can't see him because I'm focused on him. Dean, just Tip, whoever told you to dress like Bane, don't listen to that person ever again.
Yeah. The only thing I didn't like about the feud
Pardon me?
was What's that, Tiff?
I was said, pardon me?
Oh, he was
Like,
telling Dean. He was
I didn't
telling
know what
Dean not to
Jenny
dress.
said.
He was telling Dean not to dress like Bane from Batman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Because
you
he's
know
got that
Oh,
coat.
it's kind of heading in that direction, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I guess that's the idea, that he was started coming out wearing that like aviator jacket and a gas mask and shit. It's like, no, you look like Bane from The Dark Knight Rises, and that's stupid. Don't do that.
The only thing I didn't like about the feud that's been going on is how it started. Because whoever thought it was a good idea to, oh shit, Roman Reigns has leukemia, quick, Dean, turn on Seth. Fucking what?
Well, they were already planning that Dean heel turn. It was just a matter of
No,
when
but
Roman
they
went out
pushed it
there.
up when Roman made the announcement.
Yeah,
They
because
decided we're pulling the trigger now.
Yeah, because they knew how much heel heat Dean would get for doing the turn that same night.
I suppose. I still thought it was in poor taste.
Well, I would agree with you, except that there's no way in hell they didn't ask Roman if it was okay first.
Yeah, but that doesn't make it okay. Like, they asked Jerry the King Lawler if it was okay if they made fun of his heart attack. That doesn't make it okay.
True, but I mean, Roman Reigns was laying there dying of leukemia on TV. Jerry Lawler had a heart attack live on Raw. There's a little bit of a difference there.
Yeah, but it's still the same of just because they said it was okay doesn't make it okay.
All right, fair enough.
It's still in poor taste, no matter how you spin it.
All right, I'll give you that.
But yes, the feud itself, we knew it was going to be a good feud because it's Dean and Seth.
Yeah, they're great at what they do. I did enjoy the promo of Dean where he put the lighter fluid on his shield vest and threw it in the bonfire in the garbage can in the parking lot, signifying how he was moving on from that. That was pretty cool.
I didn't see that. That sounds cool.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
All right.
I seen it.
Yep.
Go ahead, Jim.
Geoff, how about you?
Okay. So, my feud storyline of the year comes from 205 Live, because holy shit, that feud, dude.
Nice.
So good.
Glad to see Cruiserweights get some representation in these awards.
Yeah, not only did we have great matches, but just the whole thing of Mustafa Ali is the heart of 205 Live. And Hideo Itami's entire thing was respect me. Like, he feels so disrespected and like he's not being shown any respect. And they're going back and forth, and Hideo Itami just trying to beat the respect out of Mustafa Ali to the point that Mustafa Ali got injured and Drake Maverick was like, no, you're not coming back until I feel okay with you coming back because I don't want you to get seriously injured again. And Ali's like, no, fuck that, I'm fine, let me wrestle. Goes out there, wrestles a hell of a match with Itami, goes up for the 054, and then all of a sudden just stops and gets all dizzy and woozy on top of the turnbuckle, and Itami decimates him, takes him out, and wins that match and takes him out. Ali disappears for a couple weeks, comes back, and they end the feud with a number one contenders match for the Cruiserweight Championship, which Ali wins. And at the end, if you look closely, when Ali kneels down beside Itami after he's pinned him, you can see him say to Itami, I've always respected you.
Huh.
It's a great feud. Oh my god.
Cool. I approve.
Yeah, these two guys, oh my, and this feud proves why Kenta's a goddamn legend in the business. So good.
Mm-hmm. And then you remember, oh wait, he almost murdered people with his finisher and they had to change it.
Well, that's because American wrestlers don't know how to take a Japanese move, and he's adapted since then.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest here, Japanese wrestling is more contact than American wrestling. They don't hold back.
That is true.
That's why he's been in NXT, because he's had to adapt it from hitting flush to maybe you don't hit so flush and not actually hurt people because they don't know how to take a hit like that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why I like to try Japanese wrestling, and especially if you got some American guys that have gone over there and you see them wrestling, they're just in the middle of the ring throwing moves, just screaming at each other fuck you, fuck you. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
All right. Mine.
Over to you.
Over to me. And as much as it is sort of still ongoing, the beginning of this was in the end of 2018, and I think it certainly qualifies. Let's see here. Oh, actually, you know what? I'm gonna backtrack for a quick sec because I
Mhm.
forgot to mention something. I had an honorable on the worst, and I forgot to mention it.
Sure.
Um, the honorable worst goes to Brock Lesnar versus Braun Strowman for never ending, never having a worthwhile payoff, and yet constantly continuing.
You can apply that to Brock versus Roman as well.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest, like you said, never ending, no real payoff. No one wanted to see that match.
But every time Braun even gets a match, there's never an ending.
Yeah.
He gets hit with a title belt. He gets screwed by interference. Something else happens. It's like, they constantly push this big feud, but then Braun never gets it done. And it's like, why do you keep pushing this? No. Yeah, these are two big guys, but you're not going to let Braun actually do anything. So nobody cares. We know.
Yeah, you should pull the trigger at that point. But
Yeah.
Vince just, I don't know, doesn't like to pull triggers, I guess.
But anyway, going back to the best.
Yes.
Started right around the end of the year, even though we didn't get to see the actual match per se.
Uh-huh.
The feud itself that was ongoing at that point is still ongoing. But even without the actual match, the feud itself was just so well done and so good. It's Ronda and Becky. Because the way they built that up was incredible. Like there was so much credibility with this Ronda, former MMA fighter, trying to make her name in WWE, being the face. Becky, rejecting her claim, saying no, I'm the WWE, being the not the heel, but the the more rough and tumble face, saying no, I grew up here. This is my company. I'm the one that's risen up. I'm the man, and you're not going to step to me like that. And just over social media, through promos on each other's shows, through each other's friends, just so much between the two to launch this feud. And it was as much as the Becky getting her face broken that I mentioned earlier was amazing. It did
kind of ended the feud.
Well, no, temporarily though, because as much as this was an amazing end to a Raw, the feud will eventually resume, because eventually they're going to use that to build right into 4 Horsewomen versus 4 Horsewomen. So the feud will eventually resume, and it was great groundwork for that, because now you can use those two to lead into that feud. You can use to bring it in and say, hey, we're going to go back. It's a great way to start bringing it into that feud and to really have animosity built there and stored in. It's just such great storytelling between two women who know what they're doing. Yeah. And in response to your earlier comment, this right here, this is the exception to the rule you mentioned earlier.
Okay.
Because it's one of those situations where even though in the back of their heads people know it's not real, people bought into and buy into this kayfabe.
Right, but that's when kayfabe is being done right. It's when the writing is good enough and the people involved are good enough to pull off what you're trying to convey that those lines become blurred and people just believe. Which is hard to do these days because Vince McMahon is so bludgeoning you over the head with this shit, because that's how he's always done it, that he doesn't understand that you can't do that anymore. And this right here, the Becky Ronda, the whole 4 Horsewomen versus 4 Horsewomen thing, that's something that transcends kayfabe. And that's the point here, is you need to transcend kayfabe. Kayfabe isn't a thing anymore. This is what's replaced it. It's making you believe what you're seeing is real because half of it is real.
Right, and that's why this works so well, and why I think this is an amazing feud that I'm looking forward to it resuming. Because I want to see these two go at it. Because these two finally get in the ring, to quote Mark Henry's theme music, somebody gonna get the ass kicked.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. So, I have a runner-up for this award.
Sure.
You can't tell me that wasn't one of the best feuds of the year.
That was a good feud. I will give you that.
The birth of Broken Matt Hardy, or Woken Matt Hardy.
Or something Matt Hardy.
Yes, just bringing that into the WWE universe, the fact that he pulled it off and everybody loved it. Some people not so much at the beginning, but over the course of it, as they watched it multiple times, they did fall in love with it. And just the transformation of Bray Wyatt was just phenomenal. And he's like Matt Hardy elevated Bray Wyatt to basically super babyface status.
True.
And I think, number one, Matt Hardy is what Bray Wyatt's career needed. Number two, this was the team that had to form. It had to form before Matt Hardy retired from wrestling.
Yeah.
Because, come on.
And it did, and then Matt Hardy retired. And now Bray has basically no career.
Well, they're retooling his gimmick. I'm expecting when he comes back, I'm expecting them to keep him super babyface, and he's like going to meteorically rise. And like we talked about on the Fantasy League last night, dude, Bray versus Finn for the soul of the Undertaker. Come on,
true.
Who's going to become the next Undertaker? And I would actually kind of like. Actually, the more that I think about that, I want to see that feud, but I want it to end where they decide, no, neither one of us is going to become the Undertaker. We're going to become the Brothers of Destruction.
There you go.
Because Kane's going to retire. He can't do it anymore. He has a city to run.
Yeah.
So, like, can you imagine that? Bray Wyatt and the Demon King as the new Brothers of Destruction.
That would be an interesting pairing. I'm almost wondering if Bray Wyatt's going to show up in the Royal Rumble.
I could see that.
I would not be surprised. Yeah, my 2 Royal Rumble picks are Bray Wyatt and Kevin Owens showing up. They won't win, but they'll show up because Drew McIntyre needs to win.
Fair. Or maybe Sammy. He's been out long enough. He's probably okay by now.
He could show up too, but Sammy was still working out at the Performance Center, whereas Owens was reportedly ready to go. So it depends.
Fair.
We'll see. But fair enough. Moving along. Next up, we're going to go to give us our award for the most misused superstar in 2018, either male or female. This is a superstar who we feel was not given the needed opportunities or exposure to really do what they could do, who clearly has the skills, microphone, and in ring to really rise up and be better and do more than they are, but just isn't given the opportunity they need.
Yeah, and before we continue, Tiff needs to go to sleep because she has to work tomorrow.
Okay, we understand that completely. Tiff, have a wonderful evening.
Alrighty.
All right.
I guess she doesn't want to give us one of us her awards. Fair enough.
That's fine. Go ahead, Geoff.
So my most misused superstar. That's right. Your women's champion.
SmackDown, specifically.
SmackDown Women's Champion. Because, let's be honest, they fucked her from the word go at the beginning of this year.
Yeah.
And she's just never recovered from it because they won't let her. They won't let her be what she was in NXT, the unstoppable force of nature. Because the minute she came to the main event, her days were marked, and ever since she lost her first match, she just can't fucking buy a real win. And it's like, one could argue, oh, but she's the SmackDown Women's Champion. It's like, yeah, but the way she won it, even though I still say it still kind of made her look strong, still is like, I'm a little worried about her reign because since becoming the champ, she hasn't done much. And I'm like, I really hope they don't take the title off her because that would be stupid. But I could see her being a transitional champion for some reason.
Yeah, we'll have to see.
So that's why I'm just like, oh, they so misused and underused Asuka because she's literally one of the best things they have going right now for the women's division.
That is true.
And they just don't use her.
Also, by the way, give it that shot. Can I just note, by the way, that I like that Asuka grew her hair a little bit longer? I think that looks good.
Yeah, I was going to mention that too. I like her. I like her with both, but yeah, I think she looks great with the longer hair.
Anyway, so yeah, I could see definitely the misuse there. That's definitely a concern. But let's be honest. As of the things that have happened over the last 2 weeks, it's slowly being rectified. But let's be honest. It's going to be rectified this year. In 2018, and I think this is carrying the same award over. I think this is the same person I gave it to in 2017. I have to go back and check the video.
Okay.
Let's be honest. Up until very, very recently, the last few weeks, there has been no man more overlooked, misused, or underutilized than Finn Balor.
See,
you disagree?
Kind of. Because,
Okay.
yeah, they haven't pulled the trigger on him, but let's be fair, for 2018, he's had a damned good year. He's had victories when he's needed victories. He's had pushes here and there. He's not had the big over push, but he's not been completely buried like he was in 2017.
No, but at the same time, he's always the extra guy. He's always, oh yeah, he's going to be in the match, but Finn Balor's not going to win. He's there to make other people look good.
Yeah, but I feel that Braun was more underused than Finn Balor in 2018 because he didn't get the wins. They never pulled the trigger. He had feuds that never went anywhere. Finn Balor's feuds always went somewhere.
That's fair. I can agree with that. Braun certainly worthy candidate as well. But I didn't give it to Braun, if only because Braun was injured for a large portion of the year.
That's true.
And so I didn't really want to. I felt like that wasn't fair to him. Just not underutilized because he was injured. But I did have I have a runner up on this, but I'll let you go first.
But I don't have a runner up.
Oh, okay. Then in that case, I'll my runner up on this. Did I get a picture of my runner up? I'm not sure. I think I grabbed a picture for this runner up.
I agree. They could have used Finn better. I just think they used him better than they did in 2017.
Yeah. And then again, one that has been rectified in the last few weeks, but was also a problem in 2018.
Mm-hmm.
And so in this case, it might even be, you could even argue more so than Finn for this one. But I think, I always think Finn has been criminally underutilized for a long time. And I'm glad he's finally getting some time now.
Mm-hmm.
But also criminally underutilized for the entire year of 2018. Since he came back, was Bobby Lashley.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Oh my God, yeah.
Because, I mean, let's be honest, yeah, he just won the Intercontinental title, which is awesome. Go Bobby Lashley. And Leo Rush is doing you wonders at getting you heel heat. But for 2018, he showed up and did nothing. He had one shitty feud with Sami Zayn that we talked about a little bit earlier. We saw the promo that came out of that.
Yeah.
And that was like all he fucking did except show up, be strong, and occasionally help faces. Then he finally, then he heel turned, and it was still like nobody cared. He was a big, strong heel that came out and then just didn't do anything.
Well, it's because he came in. This is, again, another example of the ongoing theme of 2018 of Vince refusing to pull the trigger for some reason. Because Lashley came back to WWE for one reason and one reason only, and Vince refused to pull the trigger on it, despite the fact that's why he hired Bobby Lashley.
Yeah, to have a match against Brock Lesnar.
At SummerSlam. And at the 11th hour, Vince was like, no, I'm not pulling that trigger. And it's like, well, by not doing that, you've basically made Bobby Lashley irrelevant.
Yeah.
So again, Vince needs to pull the trigger. By not pulling the trigger, he's fucked over way too many superstars this year.
Sounds like it, yeah. But yeah, I'm glad Bobby Lashley just won the Intercontinental title and is getting a little bit of a push, and that Leo Rush is really building a heel heat and doing a good job with that. So,
yeah.
The almighty Bobby Lashley. Almighty t-shirt now available on WWEshop.com.
Yeah. Though, to be fair, I don't think he needs Leo Rush, but yeah.
I think Leo Rush is doing him wonders.
Oh, I think he's doing great for him. I just don't think he's necessary. I didn't say he was doing a bad job.
I think he is, if only because, yeah, Lashley is better on the mic than he used to be. He's not calling people a bath turd anymore. But at the same time, I think he's better with a manager than without.
But Bobby Lashley doesn't need to speak. He needs to just come out and beat people up.
But the thing is, there's only so far that gets you. Eventually, promos have to come into it or you don't get over. It's just how it is.
Yeah, so let him cut the quiet promos. The promos that if Brock cuts them actually sounds good. Instead of your standard promo, like have him just come out and be like, you know, the difference between you and me, I let my actions speak for me.
Yeah, need I remind you, again, the Sami Zayn feud, they tried that. He sounded like a fucking serial killer.
Yeah, I suppose.
That was like a week or so, either the week before or the week after the horrible Bobby Lashley Scissors incident that we referenced earlier in the video. He cut this promo and he sounded like a fucking serial killer.
Yeah, but let's be honest, that's because he was supposed to be the face. He's a heel now. If he did cut that promo as a heel, it would be perfect.
Maybe. I don't know. I just think having Leo Rush is perfect for Bobby Lashley and that those two are a great pairing.
Fair.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Moving along. The most improved superstar. The superstar that has had the most improvement either on the mic, in the ring, or both since the beginning of 2018 through 2018.
There.
Geoff, who you got?
Me. There was really no other choice. Because just how much she has improved in how short amount of time she's been there is just ridiculous. She's proved literally everybody wrong.
See, I was just arguing that she was just consistently good from the time she got there.
Her promos were shit when she showed up, and she was so green in the ring because she was still learning the WWE way. But now, as of the end of 2018 and the beginning of 2019, she is so good, both on the mic and in the ring, that she's probably the best female talent they have on that roster.
Oh, I can agree with that. Although Becky Lynch might not.
Well, on the Raw roster.
That's fair then. Although Sasha might not.
Sasha's overrated.
Oh,
I'm sorry,
burn.
I don't like her that much.
Burn. Okay.
I think Bayley is better than Sasha, personally.
Oh.
They just-
Okay.
You want to talk about criminally underused? Bayley.
Yeah. Yeah.
So good, and they don't do anything with her.
Well, the problem with Bayley is there's only so much she can do in the confines of her gimmick. That's the problem.
Yeah, but they started to evolve the gimmick and then got scared and decided not to pull the trigger on it because they started to go with the more like ruthless Bayley. They started to go with the more aggressive Bayley, the more Bayley with emotion that would get pissed off, and people loved it. And then they stopped doing it, and it's like, what? Because people were getting sick of I'm the hugger Bayley. I'm the Bayley that's never going to get pissed off. And it's like, that's all well and good, but it's more realistic if she actually gets pissed off, and then that would allow her to actually wrestle. And when she started doing that, people loved it, and then she kind of stopped doing it when they put her with Sasha, because like, oh, Sasha can fill that role. It's like, oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Because Bayley's a lot better than anyone gives her credit for. She is so good.
She is very good. I agree.
But yeah, Ronda Rousey definitely had the steepest arc of improvement of anyone this year.
Yeah. Also, at the same time, though, you do have to remember there is probably a reason Bayley was the last of the 4 horsewomen called up to the main roster.
Why is that?
Because of the 4 of them, I think she has an amazing gimmick, but of the 4 of them, I think she's probably in terms of talent, she's good because they're all amazing, but I think she's at the bottom if you were to rank them by talent.
See, I don't think so. At least not now. And I was never really that high on her gimmick. Her gimmick is okay. It's great for the kids and stuff. It's a fun gimmick. But in the pantheon of gimmicks, her gimmick is kind of eh. I don't like her gimmick that much, but I'm like, well, it works, so why not?
Well, the thing is that's the thing is, though, her gimmick is she's the female John Cena. But
she's not, because they don't use her like a John Cena. They don't have her come out and be like, I can't be touched. I can't lose. No, she comes out and loses every fucking match that she's in.
She does, but it's not that it's not about not losing. She's the female John Cena, is that she comes out and she's the ones kids look up to that want to get a hug from. They like her waving inflatable arm, flailing tube men entrance. She's the kid-friendly, the one that all the kids like and want to be around. Same with John Cena. And because of that, there's a limit to how much aggression or other type of evolution she can show while maintaining that character, and that's the problem.
See, I don't think so, because I think John Cena has proved you can be kid-friendly, you can be that happy-go-lucky person that the kids look up to, and still come out and take care of business and whoop ass.
Oh, you can, yeah, but the problem is, I think the issue with that is that Bayley needs a 5 moves of doom set if she's going to do that.
Well, I think she has it, they just don't let her use it.
No,
because she has her 5 moves of doom set that ends with the Bayley to belly.
Not really. She just got to pull that out at random. What she needs is 3 moves to set it up, then the Bayley to belly, and then go up top and finish with the elbow drop, because that's what she's been using for finishes lately. So that would be an ideal 5 moves of doom if she could pull that off.
But she has one, because she has that setup that she does, that corner move that she does, where she goes like, she waves her arms around and then does like a Ho Train kind of thing. And then she backs up and she like tugs on her hair to tighten up and then sets up for the Bayley to belly. She has a 5 moves of doom. She just doesn't use it because they never let her win a damn match.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, she's always had her comeback. Always.
True.
That's her signature thing, is the moves that go into slamming them into the corner and then, bam! And then she does the backflip thing, sets up, Bayley to belly. It's fucking awesome. That comeback is amazing. It looks awesome, but she never uses it.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Anyway, I actually had another thought. Just 'cause I wasn't really thinking of it as this drastic a change, only because I thought Ronda was pretty good from the time she got there, and while she definitely did improve, I felt that she was always good, and it was in terms that there was that while she definitely improved, I didn't find it as steep an incline because I thought she was very good upon her arrival. But I respect that. You're right. At least in the promo area, she definitely did improve quite a bit.
Yeah.
But I actually had someone else in mind who I thought really did a good job in improving themselves, not just in the ring, although that's the least of the three, but in the ring, plus in promos and getting over with the fans and what they were doing.
Okay.
Now, 2018 was a great year for this guy.
Okay.
And because I think going from where he was at the beginning of 2018, which was as a heel and was basically there to be the butt of jokes, to not just saying it to annoy people, but to every single person in the entire WWE universe believing and agreeing with one universal fact. What does WWE stand for? Walk with Elias.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I like Elias.
Because at the beginning of 2018, his job was to be out there and then be interrupted so people could make jokes at him. That was his job. Now, he goes out there and everybody is behind him. He gets to sing full songs. People chant with him. He is over as hell. His in-ring skills have gotten better. Yeah, he needs to add a few more signature moves, but he's still good in the ring.
I don't think his in-ring skills were ever bad.
Well, I always felt like they didn't give him an opportunity to use them, and as a result, they didn't develop as much as they could have. And the problem is, even looking at his repertoire, he only ever had like 3 moves, and that was kind of the problem. Is he had the drift away, he had the halo bomb, and that one corner thing, and that was all he had.
And the guitar.
Right. And hitting guys with the guitar. But I feel like if they got a few more moves, I feel like, but I feel like he's still gotten immensely better over the year and more in how over his character is and how beloved he is. I think just how far it's incredible how over he has managed to get with his gimmick and what he does and how well he's been able to use that to parlay himself as the baby face in feuds. And I just respect how much Elias has improved. And I think Elias is definitely a future champion. Keep working in the ring, stay as over as you are. You will be a champion one day. Elias is great. I look forward to seeing what he can do in 2019.
I think he's going to become a champion this year.
I could see it. I'd like to see him go back and do a feud with Bobby Lashley and win the Intercontinental title.
Yeah, I think he's ready. I think they could just pull the trigger and he'd be fine, personally.
Yeah.
Like you said, add a move the signature move or two to his repertoire, and boom, he's good.
Yeah, I think he'll be good. Props to Elias for his vast improvement over the year.
Absolutely.
I think he's done great. All right. Our next award is the worst match of the year. Geoff.
Okay. Okay, that's all she has left. Oh, was that this year? Wow. Okay. So,
oh, did she send you her awards?
Yeah.
Oh, go for it.
She doesn't have much, but she does have one for the worst feud or storyline of the year.
Okay.
I guess this was this year. Jason Jordan and Kurt Angle.
That wasn't this year.
Was that not this year?
I don't think.
Oh no, this is the wrong. Wait, when you sent her the template, did it say 2017 or 2018 on top of it?
2018, because I amended it and left it blank, threw an 18 on it, and sent it to her.
Okay, so she sent me the wrong one then.
Oops.
This was the 2017 awards. Fair enough.
Oops.
Oh well, Tiff, that's okay. Sorry, Tiff, you sent me the wrong one. All right, so what are we at now?
We are at the worst match of the year.
I think we can agree. Because, my God. Really, Jinder?
That was a horrible match.
Really, Jinder? Like, I'm trying to remember what he did. I just remember it had something to do with Whisper in the Wind and Jinder fucking it up. Was it that, like, Jinder didn't catch him or something?
Something like that, yeah.
It's been so long since I've seen it, but I just remember that's always been the worst wrestling moment ever in 2018. It was just so bad. It's the moment that cemented that, yeah, Jinder doesn't belong in a wrestling ring. Because that wasn't the only screw up he had that match. He had like 2 or 3 screw ups in that one match alone. That was just the last one and the most memorable one. Because like, how do you fuck up Jeff Hardy's Whisper in the Wind? Come on.
Yeah.
Like, oh, he was so bad and so sloppy. And the match was just terrible. The pacing was completely off because Jinder had no flow because he was so bad. Jeff Hardy was literally carrying that entire match. Thank God Jeff Hardy's not a druggie anymore. He never would have been able to carry that match.
Yeah.
The only reason that match went off as well as it did, and I use well loosely, is because Jeff Hardy was goddamn sober. So all credit to Jeff Hardy for carrying Jinder's no talent ass.
Hang on a minute here. I think I have the clip here. Let's check that. Oh, no, oh God, that's even worse.
What?
So Jeff went for the Whisper in the Wind, but Jinder was too far to the left. Jeff completely missed him.
Oh, because Jinder was out of place. He wasn't in the right place.
And Jinder was out of position, so Jeff completely missed him, crashed and burned. Jinder realized what happened and then just fell down like he'd been hit.
That's right. He tried to sell it even though he didn't get hit. That's right. Oh, Jinder, just no, you need to be fired. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Just, and you wonder why they didn't want to put you against Brock.
Yeah.
But yeah, that match was just so bad. So many mistakes, all on the part of Jinder, and just no.
Yeah, that was just not good at all.
Looks are not everything.
No.
All that money you spend on steroids, I'm sorry, my friend, has gone to waste. But yeah, that's my worst match of 2018 because, oh my God, it was so bad.
Yeah, that was just not good.
What's yours?
All right, going over to mine. The problem is I don't remember which one of these it was, but I don't remember any of them being particularly good. So I'm just gonna let everybody take their pick. Because I'm sorry. I remember at least I think the first one of these was horrible. I think the second one was a little bit better if my memory serves me correctly. But just any match between these two.
Yeah, those were bad. I could do you one better with my runner-up, though.
Okay, well, hang on a second. I'll let you get to it. But yeah, Nia and Alexa just did not have good chemistry in the ring together. It was neither's fault. No. But the problem is Alexa's used to being able to do some of the flying stuff, and Nia's size didn't let her do what she needed to do.
Yeah.
And so as a result, it was incredibly unrealistic with Alexa doing some of these things against Nia, and it just didn't work well. And it just looked horrible every time they were in the ring together, unfortunately. It was neither lady's fault. They both tried. The chemistry just was not there, and the matches were not good. I'm sorry.
No, they weren't. But since we're talking about Alexa Bliss,
yeah,
here's my runner-up. Because fuck that match, if you could call it that.
Yeah.
Because number one, look at that makeup. That's fucking horrible makeup.
Kind of, yeah.
I understand what they're trying to do. That was horrible makeup. Number two, who the fuck booked this piece of shit?
I don't know.
Like, who the fuck booked a women's title match at SummerSlam to completely bury the women's champion?
I don't know.
That was so bad. Like, Alexa could have legitimately fought Ronda and it would have looked fine. No, they literally set Ronda out there looking like a goddamn clown. Have her sit down there and literally be God to Alexa and just be like, no, you can't even touch me. I'm like, really? It was so bad. Like, this goes beyond squash match. This is worse than a squash match. This wasn't even a match. It was just literally a jacking. Ronda literally just come out and just taking the title and leaving. That's what that was. And I'm like,
yeah.
Number one, Ronda didn't need to do that. Number two, as green as she was at the time, no one buys it. Mm-hmm. And number three, you could still make both of them look good and still have Ronda win with a legitimate match because Alexa can carry the match. She's good enough to do that.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And to just have Alexa come out and basically do nothing to Ronda, and Ronda just flips her over armbar, taps her out. It's like, really? Come on.
Yeah.
So bad.
That was not good. I agree.
And that's what you're gonna do for her first ever one-on-one match in WWE, and she's winning the women's championship. Fucking really?
Yeah. Not good. Not good at all.
Not at all.
All right. Well, let's have some let's have some more positive things. How about let's go on to the best match of the year?
Absolutely.
What do you got?
I got this. Because that was a phenomenal match.
That was an excellent match. I agree.
This is the match where Ronda literally proved everybody wrong. Because ever since Ronda came to the WWE, everybody without question has been saying, Ronda shouldn't smile. Ronda needs to be the badass. She should always have the scowl on her face and just go out and destroy people, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, okay, yeah, she did look kind of weird smiling. This proves why they did that.
Yep.
Why they had her show emotion. Because if she hadn't shown that vulnerability throughout the entirety of her tenure at WWE, if she hadn't shown that she can be happy, that she can have emotion and stuff like that, then what they did in this match never would have been possible. Because the entirety of this match was Ronda not wanting to do the match because Natty's like her best friend and trainer.
Yeah.
And the look on her face, the fact that the entire match she was basically emotionally compromised, and the commentators called her out on it, basically saying, Corey was like, she's emotionally compromised, she needs to keep her head in the game. And for literally the entire match, she looked like she wanted to cry because she didn't want to hurt Natty, so she wasn't going all out. It was still a phenomenal match. And the juxtaposition of Natalya with a Cheshire cat shit-eating grin on her face every time she did something, Ronda like she was enjoying it. Like, yes, I enjoy hurting you, bitch. It was just a beautiful juxtaposition all the way up to the end where Ronda knows she has to win and she knows Natty can't beat her. And she's just like, all right, well, I'm going to have to do it. And then you have that beautiful moment that would not have been possible if she hadn't shown emotion prior. And it completely reminded me of, I'm sorry, I love you.
Yeah.
Like, it was that caliber of a moment where she literally leans into Natty, who literally has no energy left, and just she has this literal look of, I'm sorry, I love you. And then that look goes from that to Ronda Rousey, and then she just fucking flips her and puts her in the armbar just to put her out of her misery.
Yep.
Like, the storytelling in this match is unparalleled. It is so good. And to think that Ronda Rousey, from where she was when she came in at the Royal Rumble and then to WrestleMania, to being able to tell a full story in the ring, something that the majority of the combined women's roster can't do, and they have more experience than she does in the business. That is talent, and that is so good. And credit to Natalya for teaching her how to do that and for being like half the carry of this match, because it would not have been possible without Natalya. That just shows how good Natalya is too. And then, of course, the technicality of the match, because obviously Natalya, Hart, very technical. And then Ronda being MMA fighter, just has natural technical expertise in kind of holds and stuff like that anyway. They just made it look really, really good. And it showcased Ronda's talent, which is what it was supposed to do. Like, this was like the perfect match from beginning to end, in my opinion.
Fair enough. I could agree with that. That was an excellent match. This is an award I had trouble with because I was trying to remember what matches really stood out to me. And I didn't have a lot that really stood out to me. I mean, there were a couple here and there.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the ones that did, and it seemed like a lot of people agreed with me when I was looking around for what people thought about the matches. But this one was pretty good just by virtue of you didn't know how this was going to go based on the differing styles and abilities of these two men. However, what actually came out of it was pretty freaking amazing.
Okay.
Because you didn't expect it to go this way. So, as you can see here, it's Daniel Bryan versus Brock Lesnar in the champion versus champion match at Survivor Series.
Okay.
That was a damn good match.
Because I saw that match.
That was a good match because you did not expect Bryan to really be able to put up a fight because it's against Brock, and yet he was throwing moves left and right. I mean, like I said, it was one of those things where Bryan carried most of the match, then Brock won with an F5 and a couple of suplexes, which, okay, fair. And nobody expected Brock to lose. But at the same time, Bryan took Brock to his limits. He was throwing kicks. He was knocking him around. He was in full control, and he locked Brock in the yes lock.
Mm-hmm.
Brock legitimately looked like for a second or two he might tap out. And the fact that he got that in showed what he could do, and then the two went back and forth. It was a great match from a perspective of, wait, Bryan might actually win this.
Mm-hmm.
So they told a great story in that match. I thought that was really worthwhile.
Fair. Sounds like a great match.
It was a match. I found it enjoyable. It wasn't a particularly long match per se. I mean, it was maybe 10 minutes, but it was a good match.
Well, it's a Brock match. He doesn't have much stamina.
Yeah, but it was still a good match.
Mm-hmm.
Also, my honorable mention.
Yeah, I do have one too, but go ahead.
I don't have a picture of my honorable mention, so I'm going to be out of luck on that.
Okay.
Do I have a picture? I do not have a picture. All right, we're out of luck on the picture. But my honorable mention for this one, and I'm giving this honorable mention not for strictly technical quality of match by any means, because no. I'm giving it to this for credit for what, because of what the match stood for and entertainingness of the match.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm giving it to the main event of Crown Jewel, the Brothers of Destruction versus DX, because as much as the match should not have happened, as much as all four of these guys are old and really shouldn't have done this, all four of these guys showed why they are some of the best men who have ever done this.
Mm-hmm.
They told a story in that ring that was, just watching that match, it reminded me of the quality of matches that guys from the Attitude Era were able to put on.
Yeah.
And it's like, this is, the storytelling is like, this is a good match. Shawn Michaels did not do enough in the match, but just between all the things going on, the table spot, Triple H just going on the table, the fact Triple H just carrying a lot of it, the fact the guys were hitting each other's moves, they were kicking out of each other's moves. It was a great story to be told in the ring, and it was a joy to watch, even if the technical quality was not good, even if there were some botches, even if all these guys were old and obviously exhausted by 5 minutes into the match. It was still enjoyable to watch because of how good these guys are, even in their old age. I don't want them to do it again, because it's getting to the point where it's embarrassing, but I enjoyed the match. And this is purely from my enjoyment perspective, not from a match quality perspective.
That's fair. And I think one of the themes of these awards, and you'll see this with my runner-up as well, that the ability to tell a story in the ring and the story that's surrounding that story in the ring is totally underrated. And it's something that needs to be pushed to the forefront because it's what's going to keep people interested going forward. Because my runner-up, if you can't tell, that's Mustafa Ali on the mat. And I alluded to this.
That's the GM in a really ugly coat.
Yeah, that's his coat. I alluded to this earlier. This is Hideo Itami versus Mustafa Ali. When Mustafa Ali first came back from the injury, he was like, no, let me wrestle. I'm fine. Goes out there, takes one nasty bump, and is basically done for the rest of the match. And he sells that bump. He sells that injury to the point where he gets up to go for the 054 and can't do it because he gets dizzy that high up because of some concussion or something. And then Hideo Itami selling his entire respect me gimmick, the entire, he's ruthless and he doesn't care and he's going to beat people in the submission, where he just like pulls Ali down, puts him in the corner and literally hits them with like 3 or 4 basement drop kicks until DM the GM has to come and just come out and stop the match. Be like, no, stop it, Itami. And Ali's just dead afterwards. Like he can't, he tries to stand up, collapses. He doesn't know where he is and stuff like that. Like, Ali completely fucking sold it. And the story that these two men told for the entirety of their feud, which is why I put their feud up there as like the best feud of the entire damn year. But specifically in this match was just astounding. And the fact how that just shows how good Ali is. And this right here is why he was called up to SmackDown, because he is that damned good. Just all around. He's one of the best talents they have on the roster, bar none. Yeah, this match was fucking fantastic.
His entrance gear's pretty badass, too.
It is.
Come out looking like Sub-Zero and shit. That's awesome.
Yeah, his WrestleMania gear that he's adopted for regular. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yes. We're into the home stretch.
We are into the home stretch, folks. Let's take it up to our final 3 awards. The first of which is the Tag Team or Stable of the Year.
Yes.
Yeah, I knew you were going to pick that.
Wonderful! I had to. Just, my God, this tag team, even though it was short-lived because Matt had to retire because he's old and injured, still, fucking best tag team I have seen in fucking years. So good.
We're here.
Exactly. And those two gimmicks just worked so well together. They complement each other so well, and just it was a lot of fun. That team was a lot of fun, and it led to some of the best moments of the entire year. Like another one I had previously on here for match of the year, which I would actually consider runner up, is the Ultimate Deletion.
Oh yeah, I said I couldn't put that in there, but the Ultimate Deletion was a great match from an entertainment perspective.
Yeah, it was. Well, again, my whole theme this year is story. It's the stuff where the story is good. Those are the things I gravitate to because I know the people involved technically are very good and they show it. Like Matt Hardy is a fucking phenomenal wrestler. Bray Wyatt's actually really good.
He is.
But the fact of the matter is, if you look at the history of WWE in the last 5 to 10 years, the worst stuff in there has always been because the story's been shit and they're not utilizing their wrestlers properly.
Mm-hmm.
But when you have a strong story and you have wrestlers that get the story and you allow them to carry that story and tell it, that's when you have gold. That's when you have quality. And that's what the Ultimate Deletion did. Is, yeah, it was corny, it was goofy, but it was meant to be, and it was fun, and it told a good story. And the wrestling in there was quality. If you look at it, it was actually some pretty good wrestling, what wrestling there was.
That's true. I mean, it was well done.
And from a Hardy Boys fan perspective, I loved it because it harkened back to the history of the Hardy Boys and history of Matt Hardy with the whole backyard wrestling thing.
Yep, very true.
But the team itself just was so good because they had weaknesses. They could be beat, sure, but they scared the shit out of you. Yep. And they connected with the fans and just, it was so good.
And if we're going to give them credit, let's for a moment in helping them get, before they became a team, let's give them credit to both of them, having both of them get over, that both of them appeared on the Raw 25th anniversary, where in one match at the Manhattan Center, JR and King got them more over than Cole and the crew had done in like months.
Yes. Which is why JR and King are the best at what they do.
Yeah.
But I love this team. This will probably go down as one of my favorite all-time tag teams, like probably behind the Hardy Boys. Like the Hardy Boys, DX, and like them are probably my 3 top tag teams right now. I love this tag team. It's so good.
That's fair. I will give you that. When I was considering my top tag team, I wanted to go with one that was, because I like that tag team, but I felt that they were a little too short-lived to deserve the award as good as they were.
That's fair. And I did consider that.
Yeah. So I want to go with the tag team that make consistent. And I realized something as I was reviewing for this award. 2018? Fucking terrible year to be a WWE tag team. Oh my God.
Yes. Yes, it was.
This was a horrible year for tag teams. The few teams that held titles were garbage. Most of the time on SmackDown, it was the Bludgeon Brothers who weren't doing anything.
Yeah.
And then freaking, on Raw, it passed between teams like the B Team, who, to their credit, at least were entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
We went to the AOP for a little while, and then they lost it. Roode and Gable are good. I like what they're doing right now, but it's like, the Taters are all, but
Gable and Benjamin were pretty good.
They weren't bad, but I think Gable and Roode are better.
The Hardy Boys are always money.
Yeah, but I had to, ironically, I actually gave this, I did not change this one. I gave this award to the same tag team I gave it to last year.
Okay.
Because when, you got to be a good team, and even though they had some hiccups through the course of the year, you got to give them credit though. They started the year as the Raw Tag Team Champions. They ended the year as the SmackDown Tag Team Champions.
Fair enough.
And simply put, the reason is because they are that good. And they don't just set the bar, they are the bar.
Yeah, I would have considered them for it if it wasn't for the fact that the majority of the year they did nothing. They literally did nothing with them. until it's like, oh, we're going to make them champions. Now they're going to do something. Beginning of the year, they are the champions, so they're doing something. The minute they lost the titles, nothing. They just literally, when they didn't have the titles, they were nothing. They didn't do anything with them.
That's because one of them was injured.
Well, there's that too. But even when they come back, they did nothing. Like their entirety on SmackDown, they did fucking nothing with them, and they weren't injured. They were fine.
That's not totally true. Because when they first got to SmackDown, they showed up and they interrupted the Freak. They got in a fight with the New Day.
Yeah, and they did nothing. I don't know. To me, it just didn't feel like they were there a whole lot because it didn't feel like they did anything with them.
Yeah, they got a little lost in the shuffle when they moved from Raw to SmackDown. I will agree with that. And there was the issue of the minor injuries, obviously. Cesaro getting his teeth knocked out and everything else.
Yeah.
But that was this year, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. But yeah, there's some minor injuries and problems going on, but they're still one of the most competent tag teams out there. They're over as heels.
Yes.
They show up and and not to mention their ongoing storyline with the Big Show, where they brought the Big Show in to back up the counter to the New Day. That was sheer brilliance.
Yes.
That was a great storyline.
Oh,
They've done a lot of
stuff.
Yeah, they did a lot of good this year. I think that outweighed the time they weren't around. I think it's just that they're of the tag. Let's be honest, they're good at what they do, and they're given opportunity, and they use the opportunity when they're given it, as opposed to say the Club or the Revival, who we know are good but aren't given opportunity.
True.
So I like the Bar, and I'm glad that they're still around. I think glad they're the tag team champs right now. But we need to get them some fresh teams to feud with because it's getting old.
Well, we have some coming up from NXT,
which is good, and I hope they use them.
Indeed.
I think the Bar could have a great feud with Heavy Machinery.
I could see that.
Because I could see them getting just frustrated, be like, Otis Dozvik, who is this guy? What is this guy doing? What is his problem? And just getting completely not understanding him, and then getting really embarrassed when he beats them up. It will be hilarious.
Fair.
I would buy that feud. That'd be great. But yes, the Bar.
Indeed.
All right. Moving on. Let us do the female superstar of the year.
There's really only one choice. And she puts it best because she's the man.
Well, in that case, Geoff, if you're gonna do that, then yeah, that's why I had that. That's why also the reason I had that picture, because that's gonna be a twofer.
Let's be honest. Becky Lynch put the SmackDown Women's Championship on the goddamn map this year. She's just that good. And with her transition to the man, she's literally become this era's Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Hands down. Not only that, she's improved in the ring, which is hard to do considering how good she was to begin with.
Yeah.
She's dramatically improved on the mic because they actually let her use the goddamn thing. Kevin Dunn, go fuck yourself. And she's found her voice.
Yep.
She's literally the complete package.
She is. And the fact and it's just she's so good at what she does. Following it up on social media, keeping herself over there, just everything she does is just making her this. She's so beloved by the fans right now, and did it by not giving a shit, by ending up like this and looking like a badass. Saying, "Yeah, you broke my face. I still beat your ass with a broken face, and I'll do it again."
Yep, she's so smart, so savvy, and she's probably one of the geekiest people you'll ever meet if you ever watch Up, Up, Down, Down.
Yeah,
because she's fucking into anime, video games, nerd culture. Holy shit, man.
She is amazing.
She's awesome. She's the man.
She is the man. But I think, Geoff, you'll agree with me on the only true runner-up option.
Okay.
Where is the picture? There it is.
Yeah.
It's Rowdy. It's Rowdy Ronda Rousey.
Yeah.
The Raw Champion. I mean, she came, she saw, she kicked its ass.
Pretty much, yes.
And even you mentioned her, what you talked about, her drastic improvement from when she arrived to now, how much better she's gotten on the mic, how her ring skills have become more fluid, how it's great, the amazing story she told with Natalia. What's that?
She's proved everybody wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, can we talk about her gloves? Those things are badass.
I know. Those are great gloves. But does she have those in the game? I'm not sure.
I don't know. She might not, because I think those are newer, but yeah, I don't know.
Maybe. But anyway, yeah. No, Rousey has proved that she can do it, get it done in the WWE, prove the haters wrong, and established a position for herself here. And her feud with Becky Lynch was, as I mentioned earlier, in my opinion, the best feud of 2018. And I'm looking forward to it continuing in 2019 when they get this horsewoman versus horsewoman thing organized.
She's also proved that she's more than a punch to the face.
Yeah. And an armbar.
She has charisma, that she can connect with the fans, that she has emotion. She's not just this fighting machine. And she has this uncanny ability to just switch it on and off. To be like, okay, you piss me off, I'm going into fighting machine mode. You don't piss me off, I'll shake your hand and I'll have a fucking beer with you. I don't care.
Exactly.
And it's like, that kind of relatability is rare in any superstar, let alone a female superstar.
Yeah.
And come on, that smile, man, that disarming smile.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, you know who else was famous for a disarming smile and it would screw you over? I'll give you a hint. She's wearing his coat.
Oh, yeah, that's true, too. But then again, Piper always looked like he was going to beat your ass because he looked like a bar thug.
That's true.
He looked like your standard Irishman in a fucking bar. He had the fucking facial hair, the leather jacket, right? Like, I don't care. I'm just going to punch you in the face.
Or hit you with a coconut.
Yeah. But Piper also was one of those guys that you would just want to go down to the pub and have a brewski with.
Exactly. And that's one of the things. It's the same thing with Ron. It's everybody thought they understood her. Everybody thought they knew what she was all about. And then it's, not to quote him, they thought they had all the answers and she changed the questions.
That is true. That is so true. Yeah, I look forward to seeing where she goes. I hope she stays with the WWE because the rumor was she only had a 1-year contract.
Yeah,
I hope like WrestleMania.
Yeah, with how good this is going, I don't see a reason she would leave. Yeah. I hope she sticks around.
And if this was truly her dream to be in the WWE, I could see her sticking around.
Oh yeah, totally. Good times all around. All right, we're gonna bring it home with our final award of the night.
Yes.
It is the Male Superstar of the Year.
Well, I've been going on and on about him this entire award show, so it's only appropriate he is my Male Superstar of the Year.
Mustafa Ali, very nice.
Mustafa Ali. He is so good. Like, without question, you look at every match he's ever had in 2018, not a bad one. Every match he's ever had was phenomenal. From beginning to end, from the technicality to the storytelling to the story surrounding his matches to just his prowess in the ring from a storytelling standpoint. And this is a guy who went into 205 Live. No one knew who the fuck he was. He was kind of mediocre at best. He got to showcase his skill. Ends the year pinning the WWE champion in his debut match on SmackDown.
Yeah.
You can't argue this. The only crying shame is he never got the Cruiserweight Championship. I'm like, pull the goddamn trigger. But no, they're like, no, fuck the Cruiserweight Championship. He's too good for that. Give him the WWE Championship. I'm like, okay, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, there you go.
He's oh my God. He's the future, man. If they put all their stock in him, he will not fail them.
Yeah.
Like, he's literally the next era's John Cena in that respect. You know how John Cena said, you know, you told someone to stand up and take the ball and run with it, and I did just that, Vince, and I never failed you? That's your man right there. He won't fail you. He's that good. He can make anybody on your roster look good as long as they have an iota of talent.
Mm-hmm.
And he gets it. That's the thing. The big thing, he gets it. He understands the business. He understands what it means to be in that ring and how to connect with the fans. He understands it. He's the next John Cena right there. You heard it here first, folks.
All right. And it was kind of a shame that I didn't get to bring him up yet in this show because, for mine, what he's done has been incredible. But I think that as incredible as what he's done so far, it's a precursor of what's to come.
Okay.
Because I've heavily talked this guy up about how much I like him. And I think that what he's done so far, I think it was getting him, settled in and ready to go. And now I think he's ready to kind of zoom. He is the Scottish psychopath, Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, he's been good.
Because Drew McIntyre came back, did the NXT thing for a little while, but they put him up on the main roster, and holy shit, this guy is so different from the guy that was the chosen one back on SmackDown 10 years ago or whatever the hell it was.
Yes.
This guy is so good. He comes out. Every move he does in the ring is vicious and calculated. Every word on the mic is intense and meaningful, and you hang on it. His accent sells it. I love how his accent sells his promos.
Mm-hmm.
He is just so good. And even Paul Heyman himself said, this man will be the Universal Champion. Maybe not right now, but he will be the Universal Champion.
Am I the only one who wants to see for 2019 Drew McIntyre becomes the Universal Champion, Mustafa Ali becomes the WWE Champion, Survivor Series comes around, Champion v Champion, Drew McIntyre versus Mustafa Ali?
That might be match of the century if they did that. That would be amazing. I've already said this earlier tonight. I've got my money on Drew McIntyre to win the Royal Rumble. That is my pick.
We'll see.
I want to see Drew McIntyre win the Royal Rumble and earn himself a match against, I'm presuming it would have to be Brock if he doesn't lose, and I don't see Brock losing. No offense to Finn. But if Finn does win it and Drew goes against Finn, that would be an amazing match.
Well, actually, that's not going to happen because from what I understand, their planned WrestleMania was going to be, I think it was going to be like it was either Braun or Brock v Seth Rollins. So Seth Rollins is the one they're planning to go to WrestleMania to headline it.
Fair enough.
So if anyone from Raw is winning it, it's going to be Seth, just because they need him to go to WrestleMania.
That's fair. And I'll be honest, and I will be honest, I have no problem with that because he's my runner-up because it's Seth freaking Rollins.
Yeah, he's had a great year too.
I mean, listen, when there was nobody on Raw, Seth Rollins single-handedly, with a little help from Dean Ambrose, carried Raw.
Yep. Also, he's the only one that Vince trusted to come out and trash his product.
Yeah, exactly. Realizing that somebody needs to voice the fans' complaints so he can get addressed and take care of Baron Corbin, and he did that.
Yeah.
But no, Seth Rollins had a great year. He puts on anybody who gets in the ring with him gets a great match. He brought back his patented original finisher, the curb stomp, and it's great.
Yes.
As you mentioned earlier in your OMG moment, he was the Intercontinental Champion several times. He's been he was a tag team champion. He's just been kicking ass all year, taking names. He hasn't been in the world title picture for most of it, but it sounds like he's going to go back there in 2019, and I'm glad of it because Seth Rollins is awesome, and he deserves his success.
Absolutely.
Any runners up from you?
No. But the thing about Seth, too, is I'm okay if they keep him out of the big title picture. Like, eventually he's going to get it again. It's Seth Rollins. He has to. But I'm okay with him keeping him out of it because the one thing Seth Rollins does that nobody else in the business can do right now, nobody. He can elevate anything and anyone. No matter what title picture you put him into it, he's going to elevate that title just because he's Seth freaking Rollins. He's that good. Like, look at him as the Intercontinental Champion. He elevated that title. He makes anything and everything he touches relevant.
He does. It's true.
And no one else can claim that, really. No other male superstar can claim that anyway.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm perfectly fine with him being in the mid-card because he can elevate the mid-card titles, which is what he's done. And now it's a big deal that Bobby Lashley is the Intercontinental Champion. And it's only a big deal because Seth Rollins elevated it.
Yeah, exactly. And that's like I said, I hope to see Seth back in the main event picture because I mean he's always been good at what he does.
Yes.
I think he's just gotten better in the ring as time has gone on. He's expanded. I mean, hell, that triple threat match that we were just talking about. The other guys had 2 or 3 moves. Seth Rollins had 2 to 3 times the number of moves they had. He throws moves left, right, and center. He carries matches.
Yeah. If Mustafa Ali is this era's John Cena, Seth Rollins is this era's Y2J.
Yes.
Because he does what Jericho does best, which is elevate anything and everyone he touches. You put him in there, he's going to make it look good.
Yes, I can agree with Seth Rollins being the heir to Chris Jericho. Yes. That makes sense to me. He is so good.
Yeah, he's great in the ring. He's decent on the mic. He can pull off both face and heel. and he elevates everything and everyone. He just, by his sheer presence, him being there with his credibility, he makes things relevant.
Yeah,
and that's
exactly.
what Jericho does. But Jericho just showing up, he's like, "Hi, I'm Chris Jericho." Boom, everything around him just became relevant.
Yeah, exactly. Which makes sense because Jericho invented that.
He kind of did, to be honest. With the whole Y2J gimmick with his debut in WWE, he did kind of invent that in the business. He's not wrong.
All right. Well, we have sadly come to the end of our annual awards show.
Absolutely.
Again, Tiff had to leave early, but we thank her for being here, bringing her awards. Geoff, thank you for being here.
Absolutely, and we'll try to get the rest of her actual awards, and maybe we'll address that in a future video, like maybe in the next XFL.
Yes. In the meantime, do stay tuned. We will have our usual scoring next Saturday and next Sunday. Please do join us for the first video of our Year of Starkid, where once a month, every month for the entirety of 2019, we will be reviewing a Team Starkid musical.
And it will generally be the end of the month, since that's where we're starting with it.
Yeah, or other content. So join us for that. We're doing them in reverse chronological order. So this month we will be reviewing the musical, the newest Starkid musical that just hit YouTube this past Christmas Eve specifically, The Guy Who Didn't Like Musicals. So join us for that review next weekend.
Absolutely.
There may or may not. I mean, I tried to get Melissa and Cam. Unfortunately, they're not going to be available, but we're still going to do it. It's still going to be great.
And there'll be in other ones. So
yes, we'll get them in a few other ones. Maybe some other people will join us in some other ones too. We'll see.
Ooh. And are you teasing a return to the X Pound?
No.
Oh. Okay.
We'll see. I'm talking to people. We'll see what happens. But
because I know she was a fan, but
what?
I know she was a fan of Starkid. That's why I asked.
Well, that's one of the possibilities. That's one of them. There's a couple.
That's why I said, are you teasing a return to the X Pound?
I might be. There's a few possibilities. We'll see.
All right.
There's several possibilities. We'll deal with it. But until then, he's Geoff. I'm James Phoenix. We'll see you next time, folks.